Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stands for Manchester United against Leeds United in the Premier League tonight. How are we all doing? I'm excited about this one tonight, I'm looking forward to it. Leeds is always a big game and I think it's another opportunity for Manchester United to get 3 points and close in on those teams ahead of us. I feel like I haven't spoken too much today because I did that show this morning, road trip. There's so much from the morning show we didn't discuss about what Ten Hag had said, so we can get into that in a little bit. But the big team news is that Sabitzer starts for Manchester United, as does Garnacho and Dalot, who come back into the team as well. So, let's have a look at let's have a look at what happens. Somebody just said, have you seen this story coming out that Qatar Up Group is the only minority investment as part of a consortium that would take over international investors? I don't know what that's all about. News coming out apparently. Yeah, I don't. Well, look, you can't. I've said it. Look, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I mean, I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Manchester United playing a game of football. But I tell you what, if somebody thinks they're coming into this football club and investing a little bit and keeping the Glazers in place, I think there will be all-out civil war in the fan base around that. No one wants the Glazers to say, so we'll see what happens with that. But the Manchester United team news is out. Hopefully I'll be able to put it up on the screen for you. It depends how quick our stats provider are. OneFootball, of course. You can download that through the link in the video description. Let's have a quick look if this is going to work. Hopefully it will. No, they've not got it on there yet. So, okay, it's all right. I'll read it. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not. Manchester United's line-up tonight. David De Gea in goal. Dalot back at right back. Remember I said in the preview I played Dalot tonight, not because Wan-Bissaka's been bad, but just because of the games we've got coming up. Wan-Bissaka's played a lot of football. It makes sense to give Dalot a start. Dalot comes back at right back. Obviously, you've got Luke Shaw at left back. You've got Rafael Varane and Martinez centre back. Sabitzer, Fred and Bruno as a midfield three. And then Garnacho, Weghorst and Rashford starting. The bench consists of Heaton, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia, Mainu, Pelestri, Iqbal, Alanga, Sancho. I mean, you look at that bench and suddenly it's a little bit weak again, isn't it? I say weak, youngsters on there. Mainu's back, Pelestri's back, Iqbal is back because we haven't got Anthony, we haven't got Martial, we haven't got McTominay, and of course we haven't got Casemiro, so we have to bring some of the youngsters into the team, into the bench, which is, to be understood. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. We are a little bit weak. It's the strongest side we could put out, Isaac. I completely agree. Remind me in a few minutes' time, actually. I've got a bit of good news I want to share. But let me just continue with this for a little bit. A few people talking about what the Leeds sign-up. Sancho is on the bench, Clap. He is on the bench, 100%. Yeah, 100% on the bench. So, look, talking about the team, Garnacho starts, Sancho doesn't. Dalot starts, Wan-Bissaka doesn't. Wan-Bissaka's not even on the bench, I don't think. I think he's been given the night off completely, so that's interesting. Is Wan-Bissaka injured? I can't understand that. I can't understand why Wan-Bissaka wouldn't be on the bench. Maybe there's a conversation to be had there. Does anyone know why Wan-Bissaka wouldn't even be on the bench? What if Dalot gets injured and you need to bring a right back on? So why is Wan-Bissaka not on the bench tonight? Is it just a bit of a rest, or is he got another injury as well? So look, Leeds don't have a manager. They are using a guy who was Ten Hag, Ranić's assistant last time out. But the starting lineup for Leeds: Meslier, Ayling, Struck, Koch, Wobber, Adams, McKennie, Harrison, Sinestra, Bamford, Nonto. I know Leeds are a club in relegation trouble, but I look at that team from the midfield to the attack and I see a team that should be doing better than it is. But the Premier League is so competitive at the moment. Maybe that's what it's all about, because Adams and McKennie were very, very good players. I mean, look, the World Cup is international football. Maguire was good in the World Cup, so you don't necessarily take that. But I do think Adams and McKennie are decent midfielders. Harrison's always a handful. Sinistera, or however you pronounce it, and Nonto, young players, but they can be very dangerous. And then Bamford up front, look, maybe not had the season he would like to have, and I think they prefer to be playing Rodrigo there. But defensively, you can get at Leeds. I think it's going to be a good game. It's certainly not going to be a 0-0 game. Wan-Bissaka has apparently been rested completely, says Paul Brook. Now you've got there you go. Players are on the pitch now. Some players are on the pitch. There we go. So there we go. We're winning the league, says Reaper. Look, long story short, this is a game we've got to win tonight. This is what we've got to do. We've got to win. There's the league table. Look at it. Manchester United, if we win tonight, we go above Man City. Yes, we played a game in hand. We go 4 points behind Arsenal. Yes, we played 2 games in hand, but they're playing next Wednesday. The game in hand for Man City next week is Arsenal. We could be second this time next week. Path says, hello Mark, Amnesty International said that it's a wake-up call for the Premier League because of the Middle East interest, but it was completely fine for Newcastle, PSG and Man City. That's pathetic. Can we come back to that, Path? Because I do want to talk about this Middle East interest for Manchester United. Certainly wasn't the same reaction when it happened to Newcastle, you're right, and we can certainly talk about that. Look, we've had some people saying genuine United fans wouldn't want Middle East investment. I mean, apparently you're not a genuine fan now. If you'd like Middle East investment, you're not genuine. Didn't read that in the fan rule book, but I've always been asking for this. What's a proper Man United fan book? Because maybe when you are one, you just get the book and you don't talk about it. Because I've never seen this book about what makes a real fan. I mean, to be honest with you, the clue in the name is United, but again, divided. Excited for this game. Can you smell what Ten Hag is cooking? Says Mika Simons. I have to put my glasses on. My eyes are really tired today. Sorry about that. They're going on. When your eyes are tired, put your glasses on, if you've got any. So I'm going to do it tonight. Mark, please can you take the first initial off the players in your squad? I've got you on my phone and TV and even on 55-inch. I can't read them. Yeah, I can't do that. And City should be stripped of... I'm not talking about City. I want to talk about Manchester United. We're playing Leeds United tonight. We've got a really good opportunity to win at home and really put some pressure on those teams ahead of us. And I want to do that. McDonald says, move Garnacho to the right. Yeah, I don't take any notice of what idiots in the chat say about formations, and nobody else in the chat takes any notice of that either. That's the way the team has come out. And, we will see how it actually starts. Whether Garnacho starts on the right or the left is up for debate. What would you do? Would you start Garnacho on the right, or would you start him on the left? Garnacho's the youth player, Rashford's the senior player. Maybe Rashford should go to the right, or Rashford's the informed player, keep him on the left. Let's see. But I think it'll be a good game tonight. I mean, regardless of the result, and I do fancy Manchester United to win, my score prediction is actually 3-1. I fancy a good game tonight. And I think that's because Leeds play quite open. We need wins. So I think it will be a very good game. I'm excited for Sabitzer tonight. Hopefully he does well. Yeah, so Sabitzer playing in the midfield, not a shock, but it will be interesting to observe because there isn't really a sitter there. I would hope that we're going to play a midfield 2 with Fred and Sabitzer as the 2, sharing the roles of going forward and defensive. I'd be interesting if Sabitzer sits there like Casemiro. That might happen, or Fred might do it. Mark, I'm worried about this game, says Charlie Max. It's the first time in a while that I've looked at the team sheet and not felt confident. Would you take 4 points from the games against Leeds with that squad? I'd be disappointed, mate. I'd be disappointed, if I'm absolutely honest, if we take 4 points from the next 2. Because I think to have, I don't believe we're in a title race, but I think it would be great to get in one. I don't expect us to win the title, far from it. But it would be nice to be a team that actually got in the title race in February. We haven't done that. I don't remember the last time we did that. I don't think the season we finished second with Ollie, we weren't in a title race in February. It had gone. And I think it was the same with Mourinho. So this would probably be the first time in late February, early March that we've been in a genuine title race. But to do that, you've got to beat Leeds twice and you've got to beat Leicester. So I wouldn't take 4 points. I want to take 6 points, and I want to be in this. Even though it's outside title race, I still think we would take that and party. City taking being Centurions to a whole new level, Mark. Relegation is the only option. Saracens were relegated for the same thing in rugby, says Ryan. Strong story tonight from the Press Association. QSI are planning a minority investment in United, with them joining as a junior partner in a consortium, says Elliot. And as I understand, QSI will only be a minority stake investment in an international consortium, which is looking to make a bid for full takeover of the club, says Mario Franco. Look, it's exciting. I'm not going to panic about it. This is one of many options of buying Manchester United. We can talk about this in a little bit, but I want to talk about Man United first. I personally think United have had the last 10 to 15 years to have rich owners spend blindly on the club. We need owners with heart and spirit. 50+1, says Shunt. And Mark, what happened to Anthony? Can you call Hakeem a brat, says Yazia. Anthony has an injury. In fact, I can probably just give you some of these things that I wanted to discuss this morning, and I can put them on the screen for you now, and we can go through some of the things that Erik ten Hag has said. So basically, Erik ten Hag has been saying a few things about the squad. First of all, he said, on Anthony Martial concerns, he's not always available. Also, I see the other side of when he is available, and he has never been 100% this season, but he's a big impact on every time he's available, even when he's 80, 85 or 90%. So that frustration is there from Ten Hag around Anthony Martial, that he's never fit. He says, so we do everything, and Anthony Martial is doing everything. Martial, I think, is the player who spends the most hours at Carrington this season to return, to recover and get back, which really emphasises what Ten Hag says next. It's really such a pity for him and for us. He's disappointed and he's not always available like we want him to be, and that will improve our game because routines cannot continue when you're not always available. And I think it's important to remember that that Anthony Martial is not, Anthony Martial is a player himself that wants to be playing for Manchester United, but also just can't get fit. It's not laziness, it's not unwillingness to play, it's just this injury issue that he has. And he said, look, is it a recurring injury? He said, no, every time it's in a different area. And at the moment, he's got a problem in his hip. So it goes back to what we've said. He's had 5 separate injuries this season. That is the evidence of an injury-prone player. It's not even one problem. He's had 5 separate injuries, and we're only in early February. It's really, really sad. He also spoke about new deals for players. When we have them, we'll get straight away and inform you. And I suppose we're talking about the likes of David De Gea there, Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw, etc. Hi Mark, please check out the news. Man United main new shirt sponsor will be South Africa. Really excited. Shirt looks awesome as well. Legit story, says Nicholas. Hi Mark, it's my birthday. Can I get a shout out? Get the win, boys, says Justin Monday. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Hope United can deliver the points. I'll have a look at that shirt sponsor thing in a minute. Erik ten Hag has also been speaking on the transfer window. He said that you have to revisit that plan every time because of developments. For instance, who could have expected the developments with Garnacho, and this changes our approach. And on Anthony, he said, I don't know. I don't think it's a long-term injury, but we have to see how it develops in the coming days. And he also said about Jadon Sancho, it's good to have him back. We saw last week that he came in and he did really well. It was also a pity and was one of the consequences of the sending off of Casemiro that I couldn't bring him on against Crystal Palace. What else has he said? I don't know what this was about. Long-term managers. I don't think about it. I always think about the long-term. In every club where I was, I've been thinking about long-term work to build a culture, to build a way of playing, to develop the players and the team, obviously. He did also speak about our summer plans, actually, and he said this: I think our summer plans, we have an idea on the long-term plans. You'll also look 2 to 3 windows ahead, and so we have that long-term plan. So that means there's some very interesting updates from Erik ten Hag there. The Martial one, probably the most interesting for me. But look, there's a lot to digest there, and I think that there is a long-term plan at Manchester United, but that long-term plan is still very much controlled by who ends up owning Manchester United. Bit of breaking news then. Let's just have a look at what this is. It's coming in from Simon Stone, so let's have a look. Oh God, I'm sure I've got him on Twitter somewhere. There we go. So Simon Stone is saying that Wan-Bissaka is ill and Sancho's not fit enough to start. So that's what that's all about for Manchester United. He also said that, another quote from Ten Hag here, players spoke after the game on Saturday about the boost they were given by noise from supporters. It's brilliant to see and hear that fans and players are united as one. We need the same collective effort again tonight. The rivalry between these clubs is well known. And you know what? I think that it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think that this game could be quite tasty. You talk about fitness and you talk about injuries, and this is a game where we need to be very, very, very careful. There has been a statement coming out from the Press Association that the Qatari Sports Investment is the Qatari group interested in Manchester United, but they're looking at other Premier League clubs and are only considering a minority stake purchased alongside a consortium of international investors. The second part of that is sources aware of the discussion say a full takeover of Man United by anyone connected to Qatar is out of the question, as QSI remains committed to ownership of PSG. QSI is a subsidiary of the Qatar Investment Authority, the sovereign wealth fund with assets of 450 billion. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe that's in relation to the story we were talking about this morning. But, it's certainly been a very interesting day. Spurs Express saying that Tottenham could turn to Ben Foster as an emergency goalkeeping coach after Hugo Lloris was ruled out for up to 8 weeks. Oh, okay. Well, what happened to the football filling? Wakey. What happens to the football filling if Ben Foster goes to be a goalkeeper for Spurs? Oh, God. You don't want to sit on the bench at Spurs winning nothing. Football filling, you win every week. Thoughts on Ansu? Wins the quiz every week because he cheats. Thoughts on Ansu Fati to United? Says Jack. Not interested in talking about it, to be honest with you, mate. Spoke about it this morning. Hypotheticals, don't really care. Pick a name out of the hat. Would I like Kvaratskhelia from Napoli? Would I like Kudos from Ajax? I don't really think about it, is the honest answer, because it's in the summer. And it depends what else is possible. I don't want Fati just because he's a good player. It depends where we would play him. There might be better options. I might rather stick with developing some of the young players we've got coming through. Are you happy with the lineup? Says Sleep Tight. And how are you doing? I'm very well. Hope you're doing well as well. I'm happy with the lineup tonight. Yeah, I think Dalot coming into the team because Wan-Bissaka is ill is unfortunate, but I would have made that change anyway to give Dalot some time. I think Garnacho over Sancho makes sense. I don't think Sancho's ready to start a game yet. And obviously I think Sabitzer in the midfield is really exciting and had to happen. I heard Ten Hag's giving Wan-Bissaka a rest. That's why he's not on the bench and don't know if it's true or not, says James. Well, Simon Stone has said that he's ill. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Static Movement says, do you think Dalot should be considered as the right back for the future with all these injuries? I'm starting to think we might need a first choice in the summer anyway. Well, that's why it's good that Dalot's back. Let's see if he can stay fit this time. Mark, the Visit South Africa sponsorship is not legitimate. Love the show, says John Hill. Thank you very much. And how is United versus Leeds at Old Trafford not on the TV, says Daniel Kirk. I think it's because it wasn't originally on the TV, so they can't do anything about it. But yeah, it does seem a little bit odd. It's interesting. I tell you what, as a TalkSport presenter, I must just say, if you want to listen to it on the radio, TalkSport have got full coverage of the game tonight. I think MUTV always have it anyway, but TalkSport have got full radio coverage of the game tonight as well. Is Sabitzer an upgrade on Ericsson, says Abhishek. Thanks for all the super chats tonight. Thanks for all the normal chats. We'll get through some of those now. Is Sabitzer an upgrade on Ericsson? If you asked me, is Sabitzer better than Ericsson a month ago, based on Sabitzer's career at Leipzig and Bayern Munich, I'd say, oh, that's an interesting conversation. We're going to find out. What he does in a Man United shirt over the next 2 months, we'll know in 2 months' time if he's better than Ericsson. I think Ericsson's a very valuable player for this team. But Sabitzer's got an opportunity. Let's see. Strap a GoPro to Ben Foster and let him live stream Conte's reactions from the bench, says the HPN. Excited for the game, but I can't. I thought, you know what? I read that first, and I read strap something to Ben Foster and then Conte, and I thought, where are we going with this? Excited for the game, but I can't wait to see a midfield two of Sabitzer and Casemiro when he returns, says Stephen. Of course, we will have to play with this midfield against Leeds at the weekend away as well, so it's a very important game today. So, really, the reason I'm excited about this is that Man United against Leeds is always exciting anyway, because they tend to play quite open, which means you get plenty of goals and plenty of action. But also it's exciting because we've got to play them all. Our next game is them away. And even if we beat them 9-0 tonight, it'll be a very different game at Ellen Road, won't it? So it's a weird one that we've got to take 6 points from. We have done this before. Man United have done this before, but I can't remember the last time we played somebody back-to-back in league games. There's a quiz question for you. City playing better without Haaland is almost the same as United last season with Ronaldo. Both players doing well, but the rest are underperforming. Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned that on the fill-in, didn't I? And I maybe didn't understand it as well last year because Ronaldo was brilliant and United was shit. But I don't think Ronaldo was the reason. The reason was toxicity and players underperforming, which was unacceptable. But you are right. You can be a really, really good player, but not necessarily be right for that team. There are no viable bench options other than Sancho. We need club sale as early as possible, says Mohit. I'm terrified, really, Mohit, of this season, imploding because of injury. Really, it's at least we'll have Casemiro back for the Barcelona games, but we need some good performances tonight from people like Weghorst. If Weghorst has a poor game tonight, we really are struggling, aren't we? Do you know if Leipzig, this is from that guy, he says, do you know if Leipzig and Salzburg can both play in the Champions League? If so, then why can't PSG owners buy Man United? Well, yeah, I think they can. I do think they can, yeah. I don't know. The thumbnail, if it says Crystal Palace for you, it doesn't say Crystal Palace for me. It's got Leeds for me, so I don't know what's going on there. Some YouTube bug, but I have just double checked, and mine has always had the Leeds thumbnail, not Crystal Palace. So thank you very much for that. Get your score predictions in the chat, by the way. Love to know what you're thinking. I've obviously gone with a Manchester United 3-1 win. 8 o'clock kickoff tonight, of course. Manchester United will be firm favourites at Old Trafford. That's the team for Man United on my left. A couple of changes. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka apparently ill, so Delo comes in. Casemiro suspended, so Sabitzer comes in. And Anthony injured, so Garnacho comes in. I wouldn't bank on the fact that Garnacho will play off the right, by the way. I think there might be a chance that he plays off the left, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But look, Leeds will be energetic. Will they get new manager bounce? Well, they haven't got a new manager. Hi, Mark. And I kind of just say this as well. I find it, and it doesn't matter to us as United, it might benefit us, but what the hell are Leeds doing? I mean, they failed on three parts here. First of all, it's so tight at the bottom of the Premier League. It's not like Leeds have been cut adrift. It's not like Brendan Rodgers could have been sacked or David Moyes could. I mean, are Leeds having a worse season than West Ham or Leicester, who've stuck by their manager? So I feel a little bit sorry for Jesse Marsch, especially when he's not even been there a year. I think it's a bit of an early reaction, if I'm honest. Second thing, they just bought him some players in January, which makes it ridiculous that you sack him less than a week after that. And then the third thing, they don't even have a new manager lined up. So, it could be to our benefit. God, I don't know what Leeds are up to, but I was very surprised by that. Hi, Mark. I went to my first home game on Saturday versus Palace, says Josh. Big thanks to my mate Harry, who sorted the ticket. Still think he's a turbo prat, though, says Josho. Thoughts on Trippier saying Rice is better than Casemiro, says Claude. I think that's a prime example of a footballer being very good in their feet and very thick in their head. It doesn't do footballers any good when footballers open their mouth and come out with stuff like that. Look, I've met plenty of, God always, if you believe in God always balances things out, doesn't he? You might be really attractive and really thick. You might be brilliant at cooking and rubbish at football. You might be brilliant at football and really thick. And if you think Declan Rice is better than Casemiro, you're thick. I'm sorry. It's as simple as that. You can clip that up. But if you think Declan Rice is better than Casemiro, you are a turbo thicko. I'm sorry, you are. There's not even evidence. There's no evidence of it. There's no argument. It's not even a debate. It's not. It's just stupidity. And I like Declan Rice, but Casemiro is one of the best CDMs in the world over the last 5 years. Declan Rice isn't. Over. It's a stupid opinion. It's a mates rate opinion. It's an English bias opinion. It's a stupid opinion. Mike, why is it when a Qatari group want to buy United, it's just labelled as Qatar buying United? They are not the same as PSG owners, says Jum. Mark, if QSI is a minority stakeholder in the larger consortium that will take United, does that mean a full takeover is still on the table? I'm going to talk about this now, Oz. I'm confused, says Oz. What has Eric Ten Hag done that LBG and Jose couldn't when they had a better squad, says Varun. He's built unity. He's built a fan base that trusts the players. He's built a squad that plays for the club. He's built belief. He's built progress. He's built a culture. He's built a plan. He's built progression. I think there's 7 or 8 things there, and I think Van Gaal and Mourinho failed to do about 5 or 6 of them. This is logical about Qatar. They will likely be part of a consortium of private investors from the Middle East, but make no mistake, it's a way around dual ownership. I agree. When will TSFC career mode return, says Dave? Not for a while, because we're having a great Man United career at the moment on Twitch. Finished the first season today. We're back in the Champions League starting tomorrow. Evening, Mark. Hope you're well. I'm buzzing for tonight. Leeds are far too open not to get smashed. The football world is fuming. United are back, says Wayne. Love that. Love that. Okay, let me just have a little chat about the ownership. Hi, Mark. Says Miller. I'm not getting involved in those sort of conversations, and you're silly to ask, really. All Ten Hag did was get rid of Ronaldo and replaced him with an unfit Martial, says Azan. English press. Are we going to see Harry Maguire and Declan Rice next year, Eric? Oh, they'd love it. They'd love it. Yeah, look, okay, let's just touch on this because I know some people are interested in it. So this morning we did a video reacting to this story that Qatar investment wants to buy Manchester United, which is a big story. We also know that Sir Jim Radcliffe wants to buy Manchester United. So we've got two identifiable options, and I think there will be more coming through. The story this morning was that private individuals from Saudi Arabia wanted to buy Manchester United, and they weren't involved in the Qatari investment fund that owns PSG, so that would be fine. This evening it's come out that the Qatari investment fund is the people who want to buy Man United, but they want to be a minority investor as part of a wider investment group that wants full control of Manchester United. So it still looks to me like it's a full buy. Wherever this Qatar money is coming from, it still looks like it'll be part of a full takeover. Now, I believe, I actually agree with the previous chat. I think if the Qatari Sports Investment Fund is going to be a minority investor in Man United, the rest of the consortium will still be money from that area, which is probably a way around buying Manchester United, which is still the same scenario as this morning. Ultimately, we don't have a decision in this. I don't know why we act like we do. It's fine to have an opinion, but we don't have a decision. You can't sit there and say, oh no, we don't want that, we don't want that, because you've got no power in it. The Glazers will go for the highest bidder. That's what they will do. And the highest bidder is the one that we're going to have to take the most notice of, because they will be our next owners. I've already said my piece this morning about respecting different opinions and completely understanding that this would divide the fan base. But unfortunately, I think some of the response is just a little bit too close to the bone. I have got no issue with somebody saying, morally, I don't want them to own Man United because I'm not happy about that. That's absolutely fine. But where people lose the argument is by going, I don't want them to own this football club, and any genuine fan doesn't want them to own the football club, and anybody that does is not a real fan. You've lost the argument. You've lost the argument because you're telling people that you're superior to them, and you're not. You're basically shit on my shoe if you want that. That's not how you win an argument. If you have an argument, make it and stand by it. And fair play for you for having that opinion and standing by it. But don't start telling somebody else because they've got a different opinion to you, they're no good, they don't matter, they're irrelevant. That's a nonsense. I know people that are season tickets holders of Manchester United who live in Manchester who would take the Qatar Investment Fund as the new owners of the club because they want this club to rebuild a super stadium. They want this team to be the best. They want to win. And that's what's important to them. Do I agree with that? It's not for me to say whether I agree with it or not. But it does. I know they're Man United fans. They've just got a different opinion. So that's where it gets silly for me, is where people start arguing with each other and saying, you're not a real fan if you want this. Oh, no, that's wrong. I've just got a different opinion to you. So who appointed you King Manchester United fan? Nobody did. You know better than anybody else. You've just got a different opinion. Express it, explain it, stand by it, be firm, and that's absolutely fine. But don't start telling everybody else they're not a real fan because they don't agree with you. That's not how it works. That's not how democracy works. And we do live in a country where there is democracy. That's why some people vote Labour, some people vote Conservative. Some people waste their vote voting for other people. But, at the end of the day, respect it. They've got their reasons. Hi, Mark. Would you take Ronaldo back as team player? Says Num. And hi, Mark. Based on my research, debt repayments plus wages plus transfer fees are all considered financial fair play calculations and in the net profit less for last year. Says Jag. Thank you very much for that. And I would worry about Sir Jim's age. He's 70 now. What happens after his day? His consortium could end up just like the Glazers, says Chris. 70 is quite young these days, especially if you're a billionaire who looks after yourself. Reckon says, I ain't fruity, but you look cute with your glasses on. Thanks, pal. Apparently people still do vote Conservative, says Stephen. Thoughts on the Gakpo story, says Adri. Oh, the Gakpo story was quite funny. So apparently Van Nistelrooy told Gakpo to wait till the end of the season to come to Man United. Everyone thought he was going to come to Man United, but something happened. And then what happened is Liverpool came in because Van Dijk persuaded him. Look, he obviously didn't want to wait for Man United. That's what happened there. I wish he had, but he didn't. What's going on here? Sorry. I have a bad feeling, says Ian. Please tell us what your bad feeling is, Ian. I'd love to know. 1 minute. I'd love to know what your bad feeling is, Ian. This is good. I have a good feeling. I'm just a little bit confused as to what's going on here. It's fine. I figured it out now. There we are. Can listen again now. That's perfect. I just want to have a quick look at release your feelings, Ian. Didn't Van Gaal persuade Timber too? Follow your heart, says MT90. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Gakpo's a Liverpool player. That's where we're at with that. Not a lot more we can say, is there? But we've got an exciting week ahead with Manchester United. A bit of an update from James Ducker as well, just on the ownership of Manchester United. It's understood that the Ricketts family, who own the Chicago Cubs baseball team and made the Final Four shortlist of Chelsea bidders, won't be bidding for Manchester United. That's come in. Manchester United bidders have got 10 days to submit bids as well. What's this all about? I don't know what's going on there. What's going on? There's all sorts going on. We've got the team here. That's okay. Okay. You know, sometimes it's great just when you can just interact with the chat and you're not getting so many news updates, but we've got quite a lot. The Guardian are saying that some mischievous sources have suggested the news of Qatari interest may have surfaced because the Glazers are having trouble selling the club and looking to flush out bids. You know what? I am glad I read that, because I don't want to dwell on the sale too much longer, because we've got a match to talk about, and there might also be a problem with the Dubai bid. Emirates and Airlines Dubai, so them sponsoring Arsenal in their stadium would that work, says John. Rishi Sunak exposing the Labour Party's flaws on strikes is what makes him the best PM the UK has ever seen, says Carson. Okay. The way games have been going, I would be surprised if we draw or lose due to referee error, says Yef. I've no interest in Qatari ownership for United. We'd go the way of PSG and Man City, I imagine. I think it would be a huge mistake, says Skin. And if City are deducted points, is Arsenal then more or less confirmed the title winner? That's not going to happen that quick. 58, go. City won't be getting deducted points this season or next season. It will take a long time. Does people believe that British Empire never existed, or billions make money with morals? That's so cute. Oil me up, says Paolo. I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk to you about what I was just going to talk about there. The Guardian is saying that there is rumours going around that the Qatar bid may not be genuine, and it might be the Glazers using it as their name as a way to get the stir up interest, because there's not a lot of interest in the club. Now, Sky Cave on Sky Sports said this morning, that there may not be as much interest as the Glazers had hoped. I have completely different information on this. I'm not sat there with my head buried in the sand. Just like transfers, I speak to a lot of journalists, I speak to a lot of people, agents and stuff in the industry. I don't speak to as many people as Fabrizio does, or David Ornstein. Have other things to do. They live and breathe it, and they have far, far better information. But you do pick up little bits. As soon as the bid for Man United broke on Sky News Business, that was when I got put in contact with a couple of people who are not football journalists who work in the business world, and we've backed and forth for about 2 months. And the situation has always been they are desperate to find out who's bidding for Man United because it's big news, and that there is a lot of interest. So this story in The Guardian and on Sky that, United are struggling to find bids, I don't think that's true. It doesn't fit with what's been mentioned. As I said, we know potentially 2 bids, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Qatar. I think there's another 6 serious contenders to bid for Manchester United. I think there's a lot of interest in buying Man United. Look at the interest in Chelsea. It was huge. I think there is an explanation as to why Man United may be struggling to, get bids that they want. I don't think there's a shortage of bids. I think the problem is we're overpriced. 6 billion is not what we're worth. 6 billion is what the Glazers want. I think there's a lot of interest, but I don't think anyone wants to pay 6 billion. And I think that these stories we're getting about there's not a lot of interest in Man United, I don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of interest in Manchester United, but I think there's a lot of people who aren't willing to pay 6 billion. And I think that might be why the Qatar story is coming out, because what did that Qatar story say? They're willing to blow everyone out of the water and they want it to get done quick. Now, if I'm selling a house and I'm struggling to get the price I want, but there's a lot of interest, but it's not the price I want, how good would it be to let all that interest know someone's come in who wants to pay the price and do it quickly? You're almost goading them to bid. So there might be some truth in that part, that the Glazers aren't confident they're going to get the price they want and might be sort of goading people to bid bigger. But I don't for 1 minute think that we don't have many options. I think there's bloody loads of options. There just might not be a lot of people willing to pay the price. I don't mind who buys us as long as Glazers go. See you in Dublin next month, says James. Can you call my friends Johnny and Ronan Pratt? You're a legend, mate. Thanks, James. Looking forward to those shows. You just reminded me something, actually. Kids have decided to start a YouTube channel because they listen to you, Mark. Thanks for the good work and stitching me up now with me having to learn Adobe Video and Edit, says Scott. Good luck, mate. Watching from Melbourne, Australia, 3-0 United. Rashford's brace a bit, says Screamer. I just hope we do win tonight, Joshua. It'd be great. Welcome to the Members Club, Casey and Joshua. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Fabrizio confirmed Osman's not for sale. Yeah, on Osman, I'll talk to you about that in a moment. Mark, who would you want as the new owners of Man United? You do great work as being a voice of the fans, but what would your preference be? Div, you've put me on the spot there. And you know me, I do not sit on the fence. I think some people love to sit on the fence. We used to have someone on the channel who sat on the fence so much they had splinters on their arse. So I don't like sitting on the fence. I don't believe in that. I think you've always got to express an opinion. However, what I will say is I know what type of owner I want, but I'm not informed enough at this moment in time to declare I want Sir Jim Ratcliffe or I want Qatar or I want anything else. I act on fact and I don't have the evidence of what these bids are. I mean, look, even the story this morning about this Qatar investment group isn't even apparently accurate. So I feel that I can't say what I would prefer out of those 2 people, because what's the Sir Jim Ratcliffe bid all about, apart from he's a local lad who supports Man United? How much is he going to pay on players in the stadium when he buys us? Who's behind him as a consortium? How powerful would those people be? I can't say I want Sir Jim when I don't know. Even Gary Neville said that. Qatar, a lot of money, but what's the plan? Who's behind it? Don't know. So I can't really offer you anything on. I think many people would probably in the chat like me to say I want Qatar or I want Sir Jim, and I don't know what I want because I don't really know. It's like you're jumping blind, really. I don't know. Qatar equals no Champions League plus any fears about it, like City. I don't know what you're on about with that, Johnny. I don't think that's right. As a real estate investor, the interest rates are crazy. Since Glazers have debt and the rise of rates hurt the bottom line, they are in trouble, says Ian Wright. And imagine the Glazers trying to use and manipulate the media to impact the market price, says Hannibal. Yeah, 100%. I think that there may be some truth in that. I can tell you what type of owner I want. very easy. Whether they exist or not is another thing. I don't care whether they're born in Manchester. I don't care whether they're a Man United fan. I don't care where they live. I'm not bothered. What I do care about is three things. First of all, that they're not buying us to sell us in 5 or 10 years. That they actually want to buy us because they care about making us, Manchester United, the biggest football club in the world. So I want it to be a project for them, not a way to make money. The second thing I want is for them to own the club outright. I don't want investors. I don't care how it is. I want them to own the club outright. I don't want them to be part of a consortium or an investment group where loads and loads of different people have a say. I want a defined ownership. Like what PSG had, like what Spurs have. Loads of clubs. You know who the owner is, really. And the third thing, and the most important thing I want is I want whoever buys us to be wealthy, because that's football now. I don't care what anybody says. You've got to be wealthy, and I want us to be wealthy. I want the people to buy us, and then I want them to build or rebuild an amazing stadium. I want them to support Ten Hag, the facilities, the whole lot, and that's what I want. Now, are we going to get that? I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's what I want. Find me an owner that's going to do that, and I'll take it on board. Evening, Mark. Hope you're well. 3-0 win. Let's go. Also, the game is on Super Sports Grandstand, says Tumbleweed. Can Eric Ten Hag plan with Martial long term besides liking him, or will he bring in more strikers? Jockin, Eric Ten Hag is very, very intelligent. I don't think for 1 minute he will stick with Martial as his striker just because he likes him if he can't get him fit. Why do I have this horrible feeling that we might still be owned by the Glazers next season? The economy is kind of unstable and no one might afford it, says Sakin. Corey, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. And MT90, welcome as well. But, the funny thing is, I don't think the Glazers will be in charge of the club in the club at the summer. But if they were, I feel like the Glazers have been getting away with it for the last few months because people just go, oh, don't worry about the January transfer window. They're selling the club. Imagine if they didn't sell the club. That January transfer window would be what it was, a joke. Yash, welcome to Members Club. I mean, already there was a story this morning saying that the deadline to put bids in, later on this month is not a hard deadline, which means that they might push it back if they don't like the bids they're getting, or if someone's promising they will put a bid in, but it's going to take them a few weeks. They might push the deadline back, which means if they push the deadline for bids back, that's pushing the sale back. Well, the sale's already not going to happen till April. If it gets pushed back by another month, May, you can forget the summer transfer window because we won't even know who our owner is at the start of the window. So there's a lot that can go wrong. And as I keep saying, the Glazers don't care. They don't care about Manchester United. They just presided over a shit January transfer window because they didn't want to spend any money. So they'll do it again in the summer. So, we could be writing off another season in relation to proper development if that happens. Petition to bring back Fellaini, says Adam Brown. When people say Chelsea spent so much but didn't buy a striker when we have Nkunku resigned for the next season, Todd Bowley's the king, says Jake. I still think you'll be looking for an out-and-out striker, though. Nkunku, whilst he can play up front, I don't think it's his best position. Mark, there is a part of me which is scared of oil cash, seeing what is happening with City. I know City is a different story. Anyway, wishing for the best, says Sakin. Watch the video this morning if you're worried about stuff like that. Because financial fair, the things that City have been accused of could happen if you weren't wealthy. They just, if they've done what they've done, then it's just about being, patient, not falling foul of that. So yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know that Hugo Lloris was injured for 8 weeks. That's you don't wish injury on anybody, do you? But that could be a bit of a good blow for Manchester United. Couldn't it? That could be very good for Manchester United if that happens. No, I don't think injury is a good thing. But what I mean is that could be good for Manchester United because they can't, because he's a key player for them, isn't he? Interesting. I was going to talk to you about Osman, wasn't I? So Osman is apparently not for sale. So that's coming in from the president of Napoli. We don't need to sell our players. We're not in debt. Osman's not for sale. Can I just file that under don't give a shite? Don't care. Not bothered. You know why I don't care about that? Napoli have been using this line for years. Sometimes they mean it, but they've been using this line for years. It's February, people. You can't buy Osman until June anyway. And there's a big thing here. If Osman says he wants to go, then he'll go. And if they get the right offer, he will go. So everyone's got a price, but of course the Napoli president is going to say that Osman's not for sale in February. They're trying to win the league, and they've got a great chance of winning the Champions League. All that is about is shut up about contacting me about Osman until the season's over because I'm not interested, which is exactly the sort of thing that should be said. Jake says that Nkunku might not be an out-and-out striker, but I believe he will bring the goals. And if you had a realistic striker to bring to United, who would you choose? I've just spoken about him, Jake. Jakey, I've just spoken about him. So thank you very much. I've got a bit of exciting news for you. I don't know how many tickets we've got left. I think we've got less than 50 since we upgraded. But we have still got tickets for London and Manchester. United stand on tour. I had a meeting today about what we're going to be doing on tour. So I'm really looking forward to those Dublin shows, the Manchester show and the London show. Dublin sold out 2 nights, but we still got tickets for Manchester and London. I've got some good news. If you're going to be at the Manchester show, I've spoken to Ben Foster, ex-Man United player, and he's going to be a guest at that one. So if you want to get your tickets for Manchester, Ben Foster will have a section with me where we'll be taking questions and stuff like that and interacting, and obviously you can get your pictures and stuff like that. So links in the live chats. We've still got some tickets for Manchester and London. Get those tickets while you can. Links in the live chat, and we're going to have Ben for you because obviously he comes on and does a show every Monday, doesn't he? So that'd be great. Oh, what's gone on here? Am I still live? Frozen on screen. I'm back again. I don't know what happened there. That was really weird. Really weird. On the night of a watch-along as well. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Very weird. Very weird indeed. We are still here. What? I don't know what to do now. That's really weird. It's thrown me. Anyway, if you want to get your tickets, it's in the live chat. It should work. Why is it not working? I've lost all my stats. We're still here. We're still here. Don't worry about that. Is the game available? Oh, I'm not talking about that. It's okay now. Yeah, my stream's okay, but my graphics aren't. I don't know what happened. The sidebar's gone. Everything's gone. What's going on? Maybe the graphics are causing the problem. Wondering what we can do. Keep the questions coming in. Keep the questions coming in. Will Osman leave Napoli if Napoli win the Champions League? I wish I could fly to London from Seattle for your show. Will it be live on the channel? It won't be live on the channel, no. Personally, I would prefer a Man City type ownership as it will increase our chances of success under Ten Hag and provide him with the players he needs, says Zov. Roy Keane as a guest for the Dublin show, mate. Yeah, if you've got 50 grand to try and persuade Roy to come on the Dublin show, by all means, do a GoFundMe and we'll offer him the money, but it would cost a lot. It would cost a lot. Just going to try and refresh this and see if it'll work. I've never known a problem like this before. Right. 12 minutes to kick off. Anyway, massive game between Manchester United and Leeds. We'll have all the updates for you and keep you updated as we always do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. United stand to do that. It's just not having it at all, is it? It will not work. Okay, let me message somebody here. Here we go, let's sort it. It won't reboot. Just going to try something else. Might work on here. These things are sent to testers. Yeah, that's not going to work either. I wonder if I just try one more thing. Keep your questions coming in, by the way. Properties. No, everything's the same. That's really weird, isn't it? That's really, really weird. Right, I'm going to get someone to sort something out for me so we can at least get the score and the timer on the screen. It's better without the graphics, says 856. For me, if we get Kane, he would need to adapt to Ten Hag's system. He will be 30, and I think Spurs will want 100 million. We should go for a younger striker, says Tony. Thank you very much. Glenny Boy says, hi Mark, was wondering what the plan is for those shows on those days. Was you pre-recording content or one of the other guys be hosting? Glenny, you are speaking to somebody that doesn't plan even 24 hours ahead, so I can't tell you what we're going to do on the March international break, but yeah, I can't tell you. I think there's a big chance Eric Ten Hag will go Brian Brobby if he doesn't get Osman, says Leo J. I mean, that's one to keep an eye on. Yeah, definitely, that's one to keep an eye on. Maguire's on the bench, says Kenny, and he's the wrong player. He thinks he's a playmaker, says Ross, who he's talking about. I'll be at the Manchester show, Marky, says Nicky Butt. Thank you very much, mate. And Slow Sports News, Qatar to buy Manchester United. We need to work on the goal difference tonight. I certainly think there's going to be a lot of goals in the game tonight. I think it'll be quite open, to be honest. And I hope for several goals, like a 5-0. And I want to see Iqbal today. I hope Ten Hag gives him minutes. Thanks for all the football entertainment over the years. Treat yourself to a good meal, says Prof. Thank you very much for that super chat, mate. Really good. I can't reboot OBS when I'm live, mate. The stream goes down, so we're going to have to sort out a plan B, which we will sort out. We have got a plan B. We've had a plan B for a while, but I just don't think it's a plan B that's ready at the moment. So we will hopefully have that sorted for you before the start of the game in 8 minutes' time. But what I will do is I will get the timer ready so that we can sync in. Remember, if you are in the UK and you can't watch the game, you can listen to it on TalkSport. I think MUTV have got it as well. So live commentary there. Obviously, I know it's an issue that some people might have. Mark, if the Qataris did buy us, would that be we could never play Champions League if PSG were in it too? No, I think people are running away with themselves here. I think people, some of the stuff I've heard today, I mean, I suppose people just worry about things, don't they? Just because you've got Middle East owners doesn't mean you break financial fair play. If Man City broke financial fair play, it's because individuals within that football club decided to break the rules. Any football club could do that. Lincoln could do that. It's got nothing to do with Middle East investment. So that's one thing. The second thing about we won't be able to play in the Champions League if we get bought by anyone from Qatar is inaccurate as well. Because if the same people who own PSG bought Man United, then there would be a problem. But that's not what's going to happen because people aren't, going to be that stupid enough to do that. Why would you buy Man United and then not be able to play in the Champions League? Chicken tikka masala or chips and gravy, says Connor. Oh, I do like chips and gravy. Neil says, I saw your video yesterday and you didn't mention we need a right back. I would sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka and get a new younger right back. No, I think I was saying my three priorities at right back would be... my three priorities in the summer would be centre-back, centre midfielder and striker. You can argue that we need to bring a goalkeeper in, a right back, maybe even another midfielder. With Manchester United coming back to the US for the summer tour, hope you and the rest of the United stand can make it out here for a meet-up of some sort. That's the plan, Hannibal. That is the plan. Eric Ten Hag will change at half-time. Rashford up top, Garnacho on the left, Jadon Sancho will come on the right, says Lee. I think that's a very intelligent thing. Any plans on doing a documentary of the United stands as Surrey? I think it'd be very interesting. I don't think there's any plans to do it. Love the content, Mark. You're probably the only non-Chelsea creator I enjoy watching. Your takes are always balanced, respectful and well-informed. Hope United drop points tonight, though. That's what rivalry's all about, Shardle. No problem with that at all. RB Leipzig, people just talking for the sake of it, says... Whale. Mark, thoughts on McKennie? Well, we'll see McKennie playing tonight, won't we? That's my thoughts on him. Casemiro will miss the game due to having a 3-match ban, says Hybrid. Yeah, Man United, I think Ten Hag hinted at it yesterday that he's not going to appeal it, is he? So, yeah, there's... that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Great response on the ownership. Great response on the ownership, Mark. The devil is ultimately in the detail and there's a long way to go, says Div. Thank you very much. Mark, I want to come for a Friday night show, but my work is finishing around 9:30. Do you think I'll make it in time? I really want to join you this Friday, says Situ. How long will the show last this Friday? I wouldn't bother, mate. I mean, I'd always encourage people. So I'm doing a live show in London on Friday. It's not my show, though. It's the Ben Foster Foscast, which is why I've got him for the Manchester show for us. But it starts at 9, and I think it will be done by 10. So 8:30, I think it starts or something, but it'll be done by 10. Yeah. United to win 6-0 tonight, says Carito. And how many players are needed to win the league, says Byron. Title race is on, says Sean. This season is an amazing advert for the Premier League. Eric Ten Hag hasn't just revived the team, he has revived the brand more than ever. United fans need to be united and spur on our team to achieve something incredible this season, says KT. And Mark, this transfer window, who is a must signing, says Linko. Striker, midfielder and attacker. That's centre-back. That's what I would do if it was up to me, yeah. Let me just say this. We are only 4 minutes away from the start of this game. Manchester United. Let me just do a tweet here. I'm going 3-1. 3-1 to Manchester United. I'd be stunned if there's not goals in this game. Absolutely stunned. Leeds, I mean, would they just come here and suggest that they're going to play completely differently and park the bus? I don't think they know how. So I'm confident that we'll see a lot of goals in this game. I think we'll see an energetic start from Manchester United as well as we look to put the game to bed quickly, which is what we need to do. Get the 3 points, move on. Get 3 points, move on. I wondered why Les Dennis was trending earlier, and now I know why. Amanda Holden's put a picture out of herself in lingerie, and I pretty much know what the replies will be, if you care. Right, 2 minutes to go to the start of this match. I'm going to hopefully get a PNG at some point that I can just upload onto the screen. Those countries didn't gather wealth through wisdom, but rather... Okay, I'm not Spencer. I don't... We're about to watch a game of football here. Manchester United against Leeds. What would be a successful yet realistic end to the season and summer window for you, says Daniel. Crypt says that scoreboard's not up. Yeah, well done, mate. Well, thanks for figuring that one out. Sort of already know. Trying to sort it out on the hop. So we've had a bit of a glitch in the matrix, and we're trying to sort it out. So it will get sorted. But if you were here watching the show from the start, then you would know why. We will get the scoreboard and everything up for you. We're just having to work on Plan B. Yeah, people are really thick, aren't they? Like we don't know. Anyway, we're about ready to start here. Remember, Manchester United have the chance to go above Manchester City tonight. Yes, they'd have a game in hand, but we'd still be above them. And of course, their game in hand next week is against Arsenal. So, yes. Mark, do you think Sabitzer looks like Alex? Between him and Kev, you've got Wish Sabitzer and Gary Neville on the channel. Joshua, love it. Love. Mark, can you call the FA Pratt, says Jacob. Let me just see. I'm just trying to hopefully get this scoreboard graphic and then we can get set up. Right, I've got it. I've got it. Let me get this graphic on the screen and then we can party. That doesn't look like Armas as the manager, does it? If I'm completely honest. Right, we've nearly started this game yet. I don't think they've kicked off yet. I will sync you in with what we get. And then I'll get the timer on the screen as well. Bruno's kicking the game off. And we're away. Right, let me get that up on the screen for you. Hopefully this is going to work. And if by magic, we should get this up on the screen for you. There we go. Big shout out, Drawty, sorting that out quick for us. So there we go. We're up on the screen there. I need to now do a timer for you. I wonder if I've got the Timmy mirror relay. Yeah, it's not going to look pretty, is it? Unfortunately, the timer overlay is going to look absolutely shit because it's going to be... I can't... Let me sort this out. Leeds are on the attack here and they've just scored. Bloody hell, Leeds have scored straight from the kickoff. Bloody hell. You wouldn't believe it. Nonto. God. I can't change the score on the screen at the moment, but that is a ridiculous start for Leeds United. They're 1-0 up already. It's all going wrong. I can't sort out the bloody score at the moment, and Leeds have gone 1-0 up. Nonto cutting in... I mean, there's things I could say about Nonto, which would be unfair using his name, but Delo gave the ball to Bruno. Bruno loses the ball, and then he runs at... There might be an offside in the build-up, though. There might be an offside in the build-up. He does really, really well. Plays a 1-2 with Bamford. Bangs it into the bottom corner. But United have just snoozed here. They fell asleep. Manchester United have fallen asleep here. Bamford laid it off to him. He skipped away. It's a great, great goal. Poor from Delo. I think it's more about the pass. I think Bruno loses the ball, mate. Bruno loses the ball. I'm hoping there might be an offside, but Swole says it's onside. It's given. It's 1-0 to Leeds. For fuck's sake. What a terrible start that is for Manchester United. And unfortunately, we are 1-0 down here. Bear with me. I'm just trying to sort some stuff out. I'll be with you in a minute. There we go. No, remove that. What a terrible start for Manchester United. Well, it makes it interesting, but we shouldn't be going 1-0 down here. No way should we be going 1-0 down. Never in a million years. That's what I want. Right. I will be back with you now, and I'll stay with you. I'm just sorting out this score thing. So there you go. It's 1-0 to Leeds. I have got a timer. I just can't put it on the screen anywhere at the moment because unfortunately it's got 000 on it. Oh, right. I've got a way around it. Let me sort this out. Scrub that. Uh, 416. Go. Right, timer's on the screen. Scores on the screen. And we're going. Working on the hop. Right. I'd like to say we can sit back and enjoy the game here, but shocking start for Manchester United. 1-0 down. Finally, we've got this stuff on the screen, which is great. We've sorted that out. And defence looked really nervy. They made them look good, says Mario Franco. Mark, can you call the JPEG image from a format of Pratt? Says Unbeat Sarcastic. Josh Thomas, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Right, get your comments in. I'm back in the room now here. And Manchester United are 1-0 down to Leeds. And look, to be honest with you, the goal really was. I just think we've been caught cold. I don't think we expect that sort of a goal to be conceded against us, to scored against us, and effectively, Dalot passes the ball out to Bruno. Bruno gets caught on the ball. I mean, that Bamford is very marginal as well. The pass that goes into him. Plays the 1-2 with Nonto, and Nonto whacks it in the bottom. I like that Nonto. I do like him. I think he looks like he's a really good player, and typically it's an unstoppable shot into the bottom corner. And the only thing I would say is it's a good goal from Leeds. It's a very good goal from Leeds, and I think the goal is scored by the fact that the only issue I can have with the goal is that Bruno loses it. But from there, we're virtually at the halfway line. They just move it, a lovely 1-2, and then a bang into the bottom corner, and we're 1-0 down. Sometimes you will concede good goals, and I think that's what's happened there. But yeah, I mean, look, people say the pass from Dalot to Bruno was bad. I don't think it was a bad pass from Dalot to Bruno, and I also don't think that Bruno did a hell of a lot wrong. I just think they've started off a lot quicker than we have, and they've scored a good goal. Sometimes it happens. It's annoying. It's very annoying, and we've got a bit of a mountain to climb now, but, you know, mountains are there to be climbed. Let's hope that we can. How is Sabitzer doing? Says Inyat. Well, it's very early days. I think that we're playing the 1-2. Is that Ranić's assistance at Leeds to Sebastian? I don't know who the guy is, to be honest. I think Leeds have had to make an early sub as well, haven't they? Or is it an injury? AirPod Armour strikes again, says Connor C. Leeds won't be able to sustain the press, says Ryan. Some people are giving Dalot a load of crap. He hasn't played a game in ages, mate. Sinistera has been subbed off already, apparently, says Swallcracker. Somerville's on, says Kyle. Les says stop defending Delo. Oh, stop defending a Manchester United player. Why don't you piss off, Les? Jog on and support somebody else. We're having a fantastic season and Delo's been fantastic for us. And let's start slagging him off. You know all the slagging off of players over the last 10 years. It was because we were shit. It's not the standard. It's not what we want to do. We did it because the players were a disgrace. Stop turning on your players because they play a bad pass, you pathetic excuse of a football fan. That's a joke. I don't think any player in that squad at the moment deserves to be criticised or had a pop at. People make mistakes. It ain't FIFA. Leeds have started off very well in this game. They're rampant, and United just look a little bit cold. It's worrying a little bit at the moment. It's worrying a little bit at the moment. Reece says Delo shouldn't be starting. You know, sometimes opinions will just be stupid. Who would you start, Reece, when Wan-Bissaka is ill? Brandon Williams? Oh, yeah, because Brandon Williams, who's not started a game all season, is going to be way better than Delo. Yeah, great idea. Sometimes people will not think through their responses, will they? Delo shouldn't even be starting. That's why he's playing bad. Well, he's rusty, yeah. But Wan-Bissaka's ill, mate. Louis, why is Delo straight back in the team? Because Wan-Bissaka's ill, mate. Maybe listen. Fucking hell. Imagine going round to your grand's house and saying, oh, Auntie Betty's normally here. Where the fuck is the lazy cow? She died of cancer this morning. Oh. Maybe get the facts right first. Why is Delo playing his shit? Because Wan-Bissaka's ill. Oh. Like, you look a right idiot now, don't you? Don't have the stats, Mark Yassin. Don't have the stats today. It's all gone down. We've got a static PNG, which will change the score on, and the timer works. Nothing else will be going round today, unfortunately. We're looking very sluggish, says Sonny K. We are. I tell you, I'd be stunned if we got battered here, but Leeds are all over us at the moment. And De Gea's just made a save on the back post. We've started off very poorly, says Jeff. Delo hasn't kicked a ball since World Cup. Can't scrutinise him for being rusty, says Shat. He did come back for a little bit, mate, to be fair. This is going to be a real test now, Jamie. They're all over us, Leeds. Very, very sluggish start. I mean, we missed Casemiro. I mean, to be honest though, what were we expecting? Oh, we've won loads of games at home and Leeds are shit. We need to bloody wake up. You're right. You're right, English PLO. Terrible start by Manchester United here. We're missing Casemiro. I mean, ultimately, having Casemiro shielding the back four and taking the ball off the back four, it's a big loss. Everyone knew that. I know Casemiro's not injured, but he's missing 3 games with suspension for something he shouldn't have missed the 3 games for. The FA have got a lot to bloody answer for, because you take Casemiro out this team, and I don't care whether it's Sabitzer, Fred or McTominay, but it's a bloody massive thing to lose your best player, and he is our best player. Deitch will not be happy. Come on, United, says AJ. Garnacho down the wing loses it. Bruno's had a bad start, says Marvin. Garnacho can't beat his man. Just chill out, because you'll all look bloody stupid when we get back into this game. Chill out and support the team. Same thing happened on Saturday. 20 minutes, 2-0 up, man gets sent off, Crystal Palace score, everyone's shitting themselves in the chat. There's a long way to go. We won't lose this game. We're going to win this game, I'm telling you. To be fair, it's about time for exhaustion to settle in, says Michael. Mental and physical strain are no joke. We play a lot of games. Exactly. 2-0 and we're buggered, says Paul. I just think Leeds are ridiculously up for it. I mean, you talk about new manager bounce. They haven't got a new manager, but they're going to their biggest rivals at Old Trafford, and they've just sacked their manager and everyone thinks they're shit. They're going to be up for this. Mark, why are you so fuming? Oh, because my team I support's losing against Leeds. Wakey, wakey. Oh, I tell you what, Sabitz has just had a great chance in the box there and he put it over the bar. We miss Casemiro. No midfielder is coming to collect the ball. Fred and Sabitz are missing, says Christopher. If we ever want to be title challengers, we need a second CDM. We look like a completely different team without Casemiro, says Jimbo. And Nick, thank you very much for the super chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Sad so how quick fans have turned. A lot of game to play, says Michael. Yeah, well, there's fans and supporters, isn't there? And the word supporters has a word in it that we should be doing. Support. I don't get it. I think some people are so infected by the last 10 years that they can't support the team. So you go 1-0 down and they're on Twitter or they're in the live chat here just slagging off their own players that have played really well for us this season. It's just odd. The low into the box, cuts it back. Oh, why didn't we hit it? Fucking hell, Bruno, hit it with your left foot. Hit it with your left foot. Mahad says we're unorganised with this pivot. Leeds have got a good midfield. It's a very difficult... I'm gonna cut Fred and Sabitzer and Bruno some slack here. You're up against the Leeds midfield that is balanced. We haven't got a balanced midfield because we're missing out defensively. Interesting to see how Erik Ten Hag tactically responds. Leeds are using a high block and overloading the midfield. May need to think about adding a midfielder. Oh, wait, we don't have one, says Andrew O'Brien. Yeah, we don't. I mean, Lindelof is about it. But it's a very competitive league as well. I don't think Leeds should have sacked Jesse Marsch because I think that there 8 teams that could get relegated at the moment. That's nearly half the league. So, Everton beat Arsenal. I don't think it wouldn't shock me if Leeds got a result here tonight, but it's a challenge and we've got to be up for it. Sabitzer looks... Weghorst has got to have a big game as well. Are we carrying Weghorst or can he succeed in this Man United side? I think it's going to be a very, very big game for us now because if we're carrying Weghorst in a team that's very good, you need him to deliver in a game like this. Ryan, I saw the stuff about Qatar. We spoke about it earlier. I don't think it's true, to be honest. We need a wake-up call, says Fennec. Welcome to Snaps as well. Thank you very much to the mods. Oh. It'll be a very tough game at their place, Marvin. Yeah, this game tells us how important Anthony is in keeping the ball, says DC. Jadon Sancho's not fit enough to start as well. I mean, again, it's just people criticising things without thinking about it. Why is Delou playing? Because Wan-Bissaka's ill. Why is Sancho not playing and Garnacho is? Because Sancho's not fit enough to start. You might not like the selections, but they're all logical. Opinions on City's downfall? Mystery useless. I've done enough videos and comments about that, thanks. I'm not getting into this. We're playing a game of football and we're losing 1-0 against a big rival. Honestly, 1-0 down and the world is going to end. We're going to come back. We've come back from worse, says Vol. Bruno's played a lovely cross. Garnacho's got time. Oh, I thought he put it in the bottom corner. Mark, how are you? I can't really see why we're losing against Leeds, says Prem. We need to win this, says Banded. Get Garnacho off. Oh, God. Don't you just hate the modern football fan? Some modern football fans, sorry. I feel grateful that I come from a time where players weren't treated like a FIFA player, where they miss a shot and you want to sub them. It's like people don't realise they're human. I thought Garnacho did quite well then. It wasn't an easy finish. People act like he's missed the bloody tap-in. Sabitzer with a shot as well. We're getting back into this game. Sabitzer's had a couple of shots. Garnacho's hit one just wide. We are coming back into it. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Look, at the end of the day, I don't want to be 1-0 down to Leeds, but we're in for a bloody good game now. You know, it's exciting. This is what football's all about. I enjoyed that last 20 minutes on Saturday where we were down to 10 men because it was actually exciting. I think we've had a lot of games recently where it's been a bit logical that we're going to win going through the motions, you know, winning 2 or 3-0. I think that you know, we're in for a big game here now. Can someone change Garnacho boots? He's slipped about 10 times, says Anthony Jury. I think we've got into the game a lot better now. Here's Rashford. He will shoot. He shouldn't shoot. He should be crossing that. That's greedy, silly. Don't know how you keep your sanity, says Cody. We are in an attacking phase. People need to calm down. Love your content, says the Inquisition. Honestly, Mark, Garnacho is still a kid and getting his feet on the ground. Well, yeah, you shouldn't be criticising youngsters who are coming through. What's wrong with the chat? It's only 20 minutes. Even good teams make bad starts, says Hasha. And we are missing Anthony with his work rate off the ball, says Sean. Are Leeds a bigger rival than Man City, says Daz. You know, to some United fans, they are. We will win this, but it's not going to be a walk in the park, says Xander. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We just got a Leeds player down, injured again. We're on the road to 578,000 tonight. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe, get involved with the channel. You're Elkin on the United Stand. We're live every night, 8 o'clock. Every morning at 10 o'clock. We've got previews and all sorts of stuff going on. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. If he's too young for criticism, he shouldn't be playing, says Mason, who's got a Wolves badge next to his name. Why don't you go and take your dog for a walk, you shit relegation football club? Stop supporting Eric Ten Hag, Mark. All he's done is completely revive a club that's been dead for 10 years, says Upbeat Sarcastic. And I don't care whether you support Wolves, Manchester United or Swansea. If a young player is breaking through into your team, you should not be abusing and shouting at them. That's not... Maybe it's different at Wolves, but at Manchester United, we've been promoting and developing young talent since the 1930s. We know how to do it. When a young player comes into your team, you don't start booing them and saying they're shit. They're young players. You've got to nurture, develop, and encourage. God, if that's what you're doing at Wolves with your young players, no wonder you don't bring any through. Rashford was very selfish with that shot, but he's taken a Leeds player out with it. So it might, you know, if he's got concussion, he might have to come off, which would be their second player off in a couple of... I mean, it could, you know, it could work out all right here. Silly Ball says, Leeds can't keep up this aggression for 90 minutes, opening up already, feeling better after that last 5 minutes. Yeah, look, yeah, exactly. Absolutely, exactly. They started off like a bullet out of a gun, and it was a very good goal. But we've come back into it now, and we've only had about 20 minutes. Also, I just want to say, now that we've calmed down a little bit, that Leeds goal was bloody good. It was a good goal. You know, there's always, in any goal, another player coming off here for Leeds. 2 coming off. So, Sinester has come off for Somerville, and another sub here, a concussion sub. So, look, we've got to go and win this bloody game. And he'll be out for the weekend as well, because you have concussion for a week, don't you? So Rashford's absolutely took a stupid shot. But the bonus is, well, it's not a bonus, but Leeds are going to lose another player. It's not that's not what I mean. It's not a bonus, but what I'm saying is that they've lost a player, which is could be a bonus for Manchester United, because Leeds are have now lost 2 of their first team players. You can understand why he's concussed as well. If a football hits you smack on in the face at that speed, it's not like a punch, but it can make your eyes water. My only criticism with the lineup is Rashford on the right. Why not on the left, where he's been most effective all season, and let Garnacho take the right? Yeah, I can sort of understand that. So Leeds have lost 2 players, but they're 1-0 up. And as I said, Firpo's a better player, says Class. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. That shot was a thunderbolt, says Averitt. He will miss the game at the weekend as well for Leeds, because a concussion is normally a 7 days thing, isn't it? Have to watch to listen to this game, BAU. Ridiculous that they don't show it on the telly, says 58 Go. Leeds don't want United sneaking up on Arsenal and City. And Mark, why did Chris Armas leave United, says Taj? Because he came with Ranić and left with him. Shout out to the Irish bloke at my gym, says Reb. That could be people around the gym who are watching are now going, I'm Irish, looking around. Yeah, we should get about 5 minutes added at the end of this first half already. Richard says, I don't understand how Fred's starting. He only looks good with Casemiro. Who else would you start, mate? We've got nobody else. McTominay's injured, Eriksen's injured, and Casemiro's suspended. Your only choice would be Mainu or try Lindelof there. I still think we're gonna win this game. They've lost 2 players in the first 20 minutes. I think we're going to lay siege to their goal, especially in the second half. But their goal was good. Their goal was good. I think you could criticise Bruno losing it, but to be fair, he loses it on the halfway line. They play a 1-2 and he bangs it in the bottom corner. It's just it's a good goal from Leeds, and that Nonto looks very exciting. To be fair. Thanks for your hard work, says Thomas. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Could Luke Shaw play at CDM? I think Luke Shaw could probably play anywhere. Time for a stretch. They are playing a lot of football, though. I mean, it's slow sports news, but they are playing a lot of football. I can't believe this. So this is the world we live in, everybody. Okay. So there's a guy called Daniel in the chat. Mark comparing Wan-Bissaka to a member of family dying of cancer. Auntie Betty doesn't exist, mate. Nobody died in the analogy joke. You need to get out in life and watch things like Ricky Gervais live shows and, comedy and, hypotheticals. Auntie Betty's not real. When the guy went round to his gran and Auntie Betty's not there because she's died of cancer, she's not real, mate. Cancer's real, but Auntie Betty isn't. Live in the real world and grow the hell up. You sad, sad person. Bloody hell. I'm getting criticised now. Is that a Garnacho? Oh, come on, referee. Surely the keeper there has took him surely the keeper puts him off there. Garnacho should score, but surely the keeper's wild there. I can't understand why. He's got to score. We are going to score at some point. Garnacho's had 2 good chances so far. Very unlucky. Referee. This ref's crap. This referee is crap. Another crap ref. If you see that Garnacho thing, he could have gone down. Could have gone down. Mark, I wish we. Oh, Hassan, I've got time for that. I am in my pyjama bottoms, Bronal. Yeah. Why are people talking about a penalty? I don't know about that. It's tense. It's tense. And I didn't wish and the other one as well. At no point did I wish that a Leeds player with concussion had concussion. You absolute turbo prat. You're just an example of people who find blame in everything. Turbo prat. I don't wish any player getting injured. What I said is that it's a bonus for Manchester United if 2 players have gone off for Leeds because it weakens them. Of course it does. Nobody wishes the initial injury on them. We've only had about 28 minutes, but we've only had about 20 minutes. Chances are coming. I don't know what people are talking about this penalty for. Raven, I did say it's a bonus when Leeds players get injured. Yes, because it is a bonus when. Oh, I'm not talking about this anymore. You're just thick. You're absolutely thick. Did I say when the Leeds player got hit in the face, brilliant, I hope he's got concussion? Oh, he has. That's the best news ever. No, what I said is he's going off with concussion. That's a bonus for Manchester United. Of course it's a bonus. He's injured. 2 players have gone off in the first 20 minutes. It weakens them. From a competitive sport point of view, it's a bonus when 2 people have to go off injured. No opposition sits there going, I can't believe it, let's cancel the game. You know, of course it's a bonus, but nobody wishes the fact that they get injured. No one says in the preview, I really hope one of their players gets blasted in the ball and gets concussion. That would be great news. It's all getting a bit heated out there at the moment. Some people on Twitter celebrate it when people break their leg. Yeah, I've seen it. Oh, Nonto's not happy because Garnacho's just done took a dive there, but it's getting a bit tense out there. United have responded quite well. I'm gonna have a drink after this. Can we sub on iShow Speed? Says Liam B. The goals are going to come. Don't you worry about it. The goals will come. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Stay strong, Mark, says Jacob. I can't wait till we equalise. All the miserable United fans who are moaning can get in the bin, and all the rivals who are revelling in it can get in the bin as well. Just got to score first. Do you think we'll win the Europa League, says Man United Drama? Well, we're not beating Leeds at the moment, so I'm not even going to think about the Europa League when we've got bloody Barcelona next Thursday. I think Barcelona are a better team than that. Joshua Bowerwater says, I hope someone boots Andy Carroll. Well, I don't wish injury on anyone, but and I'm not about to wish injury on Andy Carroll, but I think the tackle was a disgrace and he knew what he was doing. Oh, Sabitza's just hit a lovely shot. Josh Carpenter says, how is Sabitzer doing? He's just hit an absolutely lovely shot. Curled it with his left foot into the top corner, and Meslier at full stretch has tipped it round. Could have been a little bit more in the top corner, but it was a nice shot. He's got a lovely shot on him, Sabitzer. And we must have had a few shots by now. I can think about 5 we've had in this half. Rashford's touch is terrible there. It surely went out. Mark, I'm fine, whoops, don't worry. I'm fine. Rest in peace, Auntie Betty. Oh, I've just been told something that I didn't even know. Apparently, we've got 2 Lisandro Martinez's on the screen. I didn't even know that, so I have got a new one that we can upload. There we go. Let's download that. Why did nobody in the chat? Why did nobody in the chat tell us that? I bet they did. The chat's going wild today. We did tell you, Mark. We've been telling you for ages. There we go. Varane's back in the team. We're not playing with 2 Martinez's. That might have explained why we're 1-0 down if we just had 2 Martinez's at centre-backs. Mark, any chance you can consider not announcing the score on the titles post-game? No, Christopher. So you want me to do a match reaction video where I don't put the score of what I'm reacting to? No, that's ridiculous. I've never heard anything like it. We're missing Ericsson. We're missing Ericsson. We're missing Casemiro. We're probably missing Anthony as well. We're probably missing Wan-Bissaka because he's fitter than Delo at the moment. We're missing Martial. Yeah, we need more than a double Martini. I mean, Martinez says 6th. And Delo is crap. Shouldn't be starting, says Emad. I'm getting worried about another serious injury with this ref, says Alan Noonan. Well, it was always going to be competitive against Leeds tonight. Personally, if you want my tactical analysis, Weghorst doesn't suit the system anywhere near as much as Martial does. Delo is rusty. Garnacho is a kid. And we massively miss our best player, which is Casemiro. So, you know, yet we've still created 3 or 4 good chances. Mark, I just checked Twitter. All the big accounts who were calling Garnacho Starboy are now saying he needs time and he's not a starter. Right, Pratt, those Twitter lot are, says Leroy. Yeah, apparently I'm negative and this is the negative stand. It's hilarious, isn't it? Because we've been positive ever since Ten Hag came in. Can see what he's doing. You know what I would say? This is very reminiscent of what happened with Arsenal fans, with Arteta. You know, they can't... Some people are so stupid they can't see what the manager's doing and they start criticising things that are actually going well. I like Garnacho. I think he's going to be a superstar. He's just very young, and we're having to pick him because Anthony's injured and Sancho's not fit. So you've got to pick somebody. You know, I don't personally think Weghorst is that good. Don't see anyone criticising him because he's a fresh, new, shiny toy who they think somehow is going to turn into prime bloody Zlatan. He's not. He's an average striker that we've got to try and service to his strengths. We've got to try and put crosses into the box, which we don't do. He's a hard-working striker who's good in the box. He's not good at link-up play. He's not quick. He can't run the channels. He's completely opposite of what Martial is, really. So, you know, Weghorst makes us play worse, but we have to pick him and we have to back him. Garnacho makes us play worse than we do with Anthony and Rashford, but Anthony's not fit, so you've got to pick him. At this moment in time, Wan-Bissaka's a better right back than Delo because he's match sharp, but Wan-Bissaka's ill, so you've got to pick Delo. I don't see why people are criticising these players when it's all we've got. If you want to criticise someone, criticise the bloody owners who didn't do anything in January when we needed to. Henry, I don't even know what that means, so why don't you just put it on a super chat? I still feel Rashford is better on the left, says SD. I can't. You know what? I'm looking around on social media and I cannot believe what people are doing. They're acting like we've just lost 10 games in a row and Ollie's in charge. I can't believe it. I can't believe how flip-flop the modern fan is. It stuns me. Stuns me. Sport analyst says, as a gooner, why are your fans so toxic when you're doing well? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You know why it is? Because they're thick. They think because we're playing a team that's near the bottom of the league, we should be beating them 3 or 4-0, even when we've got 2 or 3 key players out and when we're knackered. I mean, it's almost like they don't follow football. Everton beat Arsenal at the weekend, and Everton are near the bottom as well, and they deserve to. The league is really competitive, and I still think we'll win this game. And then they'll all be like, are they going to say they're wrong? No crosses for Weghorst, only 1 or 2 long balls from the back, cross diagonals for any wingers. It's like watching Donny van der Beek asking for the ball but never getting it, says DC. As I said, you've got to play to the strengths. Can we just rewind on Garnacho? What's he done wrong? Our biggest threat in the game so far. Then again, I'm actually watching, says Nick P. Sabitzer and Casemiro will be classed together, says Sam. Have you ever played basketball? And if so, how good are you? Crap. Robble. I'm rubbish at basketball. I'm better at netball, and that is actually the truth. When I was about 9 at primary school, we had a netball game. I wasn't going to play, obviously, and a couple of the girls went home sick, but the team had travelled, and the teacher asked if one of the lads could play, and the opposition agreed. So I played, which actually they didn't need to ask really, because I used to have a mullet, so I probably would have got away with it. I think subbing Weghorst out for Sancho and putting Rashford up front and either Sancho, Bruno on the right and the other at 10 would do a wonder. I think it'll happen in the second half, Bria. Have you heard anything about the Qatari takeover, Mark, says Edward? Only what we've discussed. I was proved right with Arteta. Always back your man, says the sport analyst. Check Ockers for United. We're worse for the fans like that, says Christopher Long. Yeah, I used to have a mullet when I was about 9. I used to have a side parting, much blonder hair, and then when it grew, it actually started to do curls at the back as well. So imagine that. Here's the head. It used to have a mullet, side parting, and then curly bits at the back. I might grow it back. Imagine me with hair like that now. I can't believe what I just read in the chat. Garnacho's not there yet. Oh my God. It's almost like some people don't realise how to cultivate and develop young players. Bloody hell. It's scary. I want to have a guess what I pay for Premier League in Germany, says Liam B. What, for every game in the Premier League in Germany? Euros, 50 euros a year. A month. No, 30 euros a month. I bet it's less than that, innit? I like Garnacho, and I'll be proved right about him. Let's have a bet. Garnacho's going to be a superstar at Man United. Let's have a bet. 100%. Great tackle by Delo. Don't you have your photo of your old mullet, says Hugh. I don't know whether it was jealousy from my parents or whatever, but they didn't take many pictures of me. I can have a look, but I don't have many pictures of me around that age. I'll try and find one, and then I'll put it on my Instagram. Mark, my mum says you're very handsome, says Sam. I would, if I was guessing, I'd say your mum's about late 50s. I seem to be quite popular with that lot, because I'm still a toy boy to them. I'm still young. Oh no, good tackle. I'll tell you what, it's still there. I wouldn't say Leeds are playing better than us. We've had the better chances. Fulham away and City at home. Garnacho won them both, says Shahin. Mark, if we get top 4, will you post an old pic of you with that haircut? I'll have a look, Alec. Lindelof centre-back, Martinez CDM, Sabitzer where Fred is, says Casey. Leeds player's gone down again here. Legendary content mate, says Reb. Second shout out to the Irish bloke at my gym. He loves Keno. Basically, Martinez followed through. $70 a month. Cheers to Sky, says Liam B. €70 a month to watch every Premier League game. I'd pay it. Paul O'Connor's gifted a membership. I tell you what, I know I want Man United to win, and of course it would be a bonus if Leeds lose 3 players in the first half, but I've got to say this is bloody unlucky for them. Especially if it's Nonto who's got to go off. I also think you're very handsome, Mark, says Jack. Thank you very much, mate. So many reaction United fans. We've won 13 in a row at home, and of course we're 1-0 down, but still well in the game. People think everyone's rubbish now. Mate, we've got 45 minutes to come attacking the Stretford end. If you don't know the power of that, you don't know football. You're not a Man United fan. You love Leeds, don't you, Mark, says Brad. No, I don't. Stephen Edwards says, I am born 1953. I remember when David Hurd broke his leg. It was like a rifle shot. Terrible. It was a nasty challenge by Martinez, but he won the ball. I mean, I did wonder whether it was going to get reviewed, but he might be done here, Nonto. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Kenneth Turney, was it like 1995 Chris Waddle? Rahul says, problem is gap from defence to midfield, Sabitzer too far forward. Wow, we haven't got a CDM. You're not far wrong. The thing is, we have created a chance. $20 in a month in the US for every Premier League match, including the FA. That's brilliant, Corey. That is brilliant. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're only 400 subscribers away from 578,000. United here at the moment, 1-0 down to Leeds. We've probably got about 5 minutes to be added on in the first half. It's... Sean Smalls says, do people think that United had Ronaldo and he was the finished article? Most people who are complaining weren't even born then. Oh, mate, Ronaldo was a bloody pain in the arse when he first came, but no one would have the players had a pop at him, but the fans stuck by him because that's what you do. He had all the bloody stepovers and no final product. Looks like Nanto is going to be okay. Welcome to the Members Club, Luke. Who do you think is going to get relegated with Bournemouth and Southampton, says Nate? I've got no idea, mate. It's going to be very, very competitive down there, isn't it? Hannibal, welcome to the Members Club. Just waiting here to see... who might get... how many minutes the referee's going to add on. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to do my old trick of looking at my phone and then United score. It has worked in the past. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work this time. Hi Mark, I just quit my job to start my own catering company. I'd be honoured to hear one of your favourite dishes so I can put it on my menu, says Golden Falcon. Lasagna. 8 minutes added on. Let's get a goal before half time. Yeah, lasagna. United fan. It's cheaper to watch all the Premier League here in USA because we have less demand than Europe. Can you see United winning the Champions League in the next 5 years, says Matthew. Too many differentials there, if I'm absolutely honest. Yeah, so check the timer there. We're into added time, as you can see, next to just above my little finger there, or big finger, and that's going to hit 8 before we hit half time. Can we get a goal before half time? Referee's crap. Hilarious how wrong the pundits were with Martinez, says Reb. We don't use Veghorst very well at all, do we, Meme the Cat? We don't use him very well at all. I put Rashford through the middle second half. Sancho off the right, Garnacho off the left. And we don't have I was looking at the bench there. And I think that, really, Palestri, Mainu, I think Alanga's on there. There's only Sancho on the bench. This is the problem, and it's going to be the same at the weekend. Mark, what would you have been happy with at the start of the season for us this year compared to what you expect for us now? Great question, Dan. I'd have been happy with top 4 and a trophy. So... yeah, I'd have been happy with that. Right now, I'm sort of in the Ten Hag zone of I just want to keep winning game to game. I'd be very disappointed if we don't win the next 3 games in the league and just put a bit of pressure on Man City. You know, I think there's an opportunity to do that. Delay with the shot, deflects wide. Typical Leeds game this, love it. Miss Scotty in such games. Martinez is doing great. You know what, Omka? I did say that. You know, McTominay's not fit, and I wish he was, even as an option, because McTominay is, for me, not very good, but he always plays well against Leeds. There's something about Leeds that makes McTominay play well. I bet you can't do 20. I bet you 20 quid, 10 quid. You can't do 20 keepy ups on Friday. Says Anna. Oh, you're coming on Friday? I bet I can. I bet I'll raise you that 20 quid. I'll say I'll bet you 20 quid, which is the same thing. I bet I can do 30 easy. On the stage with people watching, I'll do 30, piece of piss. Which reminds me, the link's in the live chat. If you want to come to one of our live shows, we've got Manchester and London in March, international break. Come and see us live, doing a live show. It's going to be brilliant. You're very, very welcome. We've got Ben Foster guesting on the Manchester one, so get your tickets quick. I've only announced that in the last hour or so that Ben Foster's going to be at the Manchester United Stand live show. There's not loads of tickets left for Leeds, for London and Manchester, so get them while you can. It's going to be good. What am I doing on Friday? I'm going down to London to do a live podcast with Ben Foster for his podcast. As part of the Spotify live podcast week in London. So, I'll tell you what, United have done well here out from the back. Varane, use De Gea, man. He's done well there, Varane. Oh. Why can't the wide players cross the ball into the box? Just one at least, give Boot a chance. We're just not playing to Weghorst's strengths at all. Ayling deserves credit for Leeds. His pace is challenging for Garnacho. The lad will figure it out, says Mark. And we need to be a bit more physical in the midfield and have the passes delivered in front of the attacking players, says SD. Thank you very much. Weghorst is literally just a body, says Ash. Well, he is a body in a team that doesn't use him. The problem with Weghorst is he's not quick. He's not a link-up player. The only 2 things that Weghorst is really good at is working from the front, like pressing, and in the box. Oh, I'll tell you what, there was a little bit of a look there that Martinez, who's been a bit reckless in this game, but measured in his reckless and physicality, nearly could have given a penalty there, but no Leeds players appealed for it, so I think it was actually a bloody good tackle. I think I'm going to enjoy Sabitzer and Casemiro when he's back, says Christopher. Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie Pickering. Do you think Ben is joining Spurs? They're going to have a look at this penalty incident on Somerville. No, he's dived. He's dived. It's a dive. No way that's a penalty. No, they'll never get given. And it's outside the box. No way. Should get booked for diving, yeah. Should do. How many minutes have we had? We've still got another... Oh, we've had the 8 minutes according to that, which we haven't. We've still got another couple of minutes to go here. People are saying it should have been a penalty. Get yourself down to Specsavers. Get a pair of these. You know what these are? They're glasses. They make you see better. Never a penalty. Bloody hell. Tell me you need to wear glasses without telling me you need to wear glasses. Wasn't even in the bloody box, you prats. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka can't come on, Harry, because he's injured. Yeah, Ten Hag's going to give him a bollocking at half-time, I'll tell you that for free. But we miss Casemiro so much. Interested to get your thoughts at half time. For me, this is just the calm before the storm. Right, that's half time. I also pay $20 a month in the UK. Set your video. Okay, Aaron's. Remember Ericsson and Casemiro in midfield, says Ash G. Hi, Mark from Scotland. I love your content, says Hibernian FC. Thank you very much for watching there. I'll tell you what, thanks very much for watching. It wasn't even the box, that's what she said, says Arjun. Garnacho, okay, Anthony. Right, let's talk about half-time. Put my earpiece out for a minute. Manchester United losing 1-0 at half-time here. Weghorst is shocking, says Mackenzie. Can't head the ball, can't hold up the ball. He's slow and cannot turn, mate. We are effectively playing tonight with probably 8 men, and we've still created good chances. And I don't mean that these players are crap. I just think that they're at differing levels of where you would want to be in a game like this. Delo is very rusty, but Wan-Bissaka is ill. That's a weakness. Casemiro's our best player. He's not on the pitch. That's a weakness. Weghorst isn't Martial and doesn't suit the way we play. That's a weakness. And Garnacho is a youth player who we are trying to develop, who is having to play first-team football in a game like this, and that's a weakness. I like Garnacho, I like Weghorst, I like Fred and Sabitzer, and I like Delo. But they are 4 distinct weaknesses today. Lack of fitness, lack of quality, lack of our best player, and a youth player playing in a game where we probably need a little bit more experience. But why are we doing that? It's not because Ten Hag's decided to drop Martial, Antony, Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka. It's because it's all he's got. Because this team is running nearly on empty, which we knew would happen. We're playing 3 games a week for months. And we didn't do enough in the January transfer window. And you get these prats like Arnold and Murta and the Glazers who try and spread positive joy about what a good transfer window we had. I said it, many of you said it, we had a crap transfer window. Sabitzer replaced Ericsson and Weghorst replaced Ronaldo and Cavani. And we actually needed more than that. So we are where we are because we just don't have the squad depth that we should have. And we've just got to get on with it. I still think we're going to win in the second half. We're attacking the Stretford end for 45 minutes and we've still managed to create a lot of chances in that game. We should be drawing. There was enough chances in that game that although I don't think we missed a sitter, I think we should have took at least one of them. But Leeds started off very quick. They caught us cold. I think Bruno could have done a little bit better on the pass from Delo. But from there, it's just brilliant play between Nonto and Bamford, and it's a brilliant finish in the bottom corner, and you've got to respond. And we've still got to respond. And I think at half-time, Erik Ten Hag will give him a bollocking, because we can't lose to Leeds at home. You know, no matter how slim our chances are of winning the title, and they are slim, you can't lose that by losing to Leeds at home. So second half, we need to see something, especially when we've got to go to Ellen Road on Sunday, which will be a very difficult game based on tonight. Sunday's going to be very difficult. You can see that coming. Mark, what do you think of Moroccan Starboy? Okay. Can't believe Ayling is pocketing the Argentine. Okay. Enrique, thank you very much for the super chat. And Brian Ross says, I can't believe people are jumping on Garnacho. A lot of them will be rival fans with nothing else to do on a Wednesday night. Enrique, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Mark, what? Okay, don't do that. Can't believe. Okay. Thank you. Right, there's a lot of shit in the chat tonight. We'll try and focus on something that actually generates a conversation. You can just feel the drop points coming. We have no finishing, says give it to Mikey. We can't win like this, says Kaz. I mean, look, the biggest issue for me is no Casemiro. I am coming to Scotland for a show, Hoggy. The biggest issue for me is no Casemiro. That is the biggest problem. He's the best player we've got, and we miss him massively. And I blame the FA, because him missing 3 games for what he did on Saturday is a bloody disgrace. And the fact that United didn't appeal it because they know that the FA are a joke is a joke for our season. Our season, or whatever league race we're in, could be jeopardised, not through injury, by incompetence of the VAR at the weekend. It's disgusting. It makes me very, very angry. But we've got to get on with it. And I'm sure Ten Hag will be saying the same. One thing that we do have in our control, because we can't play Casemiro, one thing we do have in our control is utilising Weghorst. He doesn't suit the way we want to play. There's no doubt about that. Weghorst doesn't suit the way we want to play. But you can't just ignore that. You've got to play the way that suits him. Weghorst can't be Martial. He can't be the link-up player that runs the channels and plays little 1-2s. You've got to play to his strength. We don't put any crosses in the box. You look at Weghorst's career, he's a hard-working number 9 who is pretty good when he gets chances in the box and will run around a lot, pressing from the front. At the moment, he's just running around a lot because we're not giving him any service. I don't see the point in Weghorst today. I personally think that put Rashford down the middle, get Sancho on as soon as possible, because we're not putting crosses in the box anyway. We shouldn't be moving Rashford to the right to accommodate Garnacho, says Cryptic. I actually don't have a problem with that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Leeds are pressing so much, we should put Rashford up front and sub Weghorst for Sancho. Yeah, I agree, Min. Our midfield is getting overrun, and Rashford needs to play off the left. That's where he's most dynamic and not very confident in Weghorst right now, says Trey. Weghorst off, Sancho on the right, Rashford down the middle, says Bobby. Leeds tactics and intent are spot on. We had to rely on long balls to Garnacho, says Salim. We've learned time and time again Rashford is ineffective on the right. Very surprising call. Hope you turn it around, says Ty. We're not able to progress the ball from the defensive midfield, and that's the problem. Quite a few good points in there. Thank you for that, Manaj. I'll tell you a very simple problem why we're not servicing Weghorst. Garnacho doesn't put crosses into the box, and neither does Rashford. So where's he going to get the service? Delo and Luke Shaw aren't overlapping enough. We're not going to get the service to Weghorst with the wingers we've got on the pitch. So you may as well take him off. As for Garnacho on the left and Rashford on the right, I don't have a problem with it, because Garnacho off the right is a youth player. Rashford's a senior player. I would rather put the senior player out of position and take responsibility for the team and make it more comfortable for the youth player. I'm not 100% on that, but I can see what Ten Hag's done. You could say you're a youth player, go and play out on the right where you're not as comfortable because I want to keep my best player on the left. You could do that, but I can see why he's done what he's done. I'm not saying it's right, but I can see why he's done it. And of course, if Garnacho takes one of those 2 chances, he's right. Sabitzer is good, but he's not a CDM. McKennie and Adams have been playing together in the midfield since the age of 12, and it shows, says Jason. It's a massive disadvantage for us tonight. Massive disadvantage. Sabitzer's barely been at the club a week, and we're playing for Fred and Sabitzer against 2 midfielders who have just played a World Cup together, and like you say, have been playing together for years. And they're actually specialists in their position. No matter what level you think they're at, they are specialists at that. We've got Fred and Sabitzer who are basically playing out of position. They're playing as a midfield too, and neither of them has the defensive qualities to do it. I think Sabitzer will be very good for us when he can play a bit further forward in the Eriksen role. But tonight we're having to make do. I'm going to have to make do on Saturday. I mean, I would query whether it's worthwhile just replicating, instead of trying to play a midfield 2, I wonder if it's worth replicating just the way we play with Casemiro and getting Lindelof to do the Casemiro role and just saying sit in front of the back 4, take the ball off the back 4 and feed Fred or Sabitzer. We've changed the midfield to go with a balanced 2. It might be better off just bringing in a Lindelof or a Martinez to play it. But, you know, look, I still think there's plenty of time to win this. If Garnacho keeps playing the way he does, he's got to be the number 7. But put Rashi up front and bring Sancho on the right. I would do that, Sean. Ten Hag insisted in yesterday's press conference that it will be important to prepare for a possible change in style brought on by Marsh's departure. Says the man knows football. And one decision could affect our whole season. Sancho has to come on now. Move Rashford to the left, says George. Thank you very much. Do you think we're going to come back in this game? I sense that there is a split. I sense positivity, and I sense that there's also negativity in there. But I think we are going to come back. I think if you look at the first half, Leeds totally deserve to go ahead, and they have played very, very well. But on the balance of chances, I think you could argue we should be winning. We're losing. If we can replicate that first half, and I think we will, because I think Leeds will naturally drop off. I don't think they've got much on the break. I think Leeds are going to naturally try and defend their lead. It's about whether we can score. Now, one of the things we've got to take in mind, and one of the things that's a risk, is there's not a lot on our bench. Apart from Sancho, there's not a lot on our bench. And the second thing is, our goal difference is good, but our goals scored is shit. No, our goal difference is not very good either. Our points tally is good, but we don't score many goals. We've got to score 2 goals in the second half. Not 1. I can see this ending in a draw, I think the win's the challenge, and I think we will win, but I'll concede. I can see a draw. I can see a 1-1 here. I think you could have a 1-1 all over it. But we've got to go out and score some goals in the second half, and I think Leeds will naturally sit back. The scariest part of this is when you look at our bench, there is no one to come on and change this game that you would have any faith in. It's a gamble, says Aram. Fred and Sabitzer are playing out of position. We've got no CDM, says Bolt. Do you think Casemiro deserved the red card, says Alves? Nope. Mark, hope Garnacho scores and sits down all these fake fans, says Nath. And I would move Martinez to midfield, Shaw at centre-back and Malacia at left-back. Bradley, the way Martinez has played in that first half, I wouldn't have a problem with it. He's been so up for it, hasn't he? That I wouldn't have a problem with that. Sia says, put Rashford up front to scare Leeds from pressing due to his pace, and put Sancho on the right. He can work in tight spaces against the press, says Sia. And do you think Taylor Booth will come to United? Ten Hag wants him, as it seems, as the Guys podcast. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Hoggy says, where do I buy it, or is it already sold out? I don't know what he's talking about. I was just about to say that. I announced it about an hour ago. We've still got tickets available for Manchester and London for the United Stand Tour live show in Manchester and London. Dublin sold out already. They're in the March international break. Get your tickets while you can. Links in the live chat. Ben Foster will be with us in Manchester. So we're going to have Ben Foster on stage doing a little bit as well in the Manchester show. So get your tickets while you can. Still got them for London and Manchester, but they are going fast, so get them. Link in the chat for that. Weghorst off, Rashford forward, Sancho right, Sabitzer further forward, Martinez CDM and Lindelof at CDM would solve our problem, says Casey. Do you rate De Gea, says George? Yes, I do. I don't. What's De Gea done wrong in this half? Red Devils, we are creating more chances. We just need to finish them. As I said, if we replicate the first half, I think we'll win the game, and we're losing from the first half. So we've just got to get something done, haven't we? In relation to putting the ball in the back of the net. I do worry about Weghorst. RSB says he's poor, no dynamism, he's static and slow. Mate, he's a desperation signing who's cheap from Burnley. I don't know what people expect. I want the lad to do well. It's a dream for him. If he can score us some goals and it works, it'll be a masterclass. But there's no longevity in it. There's no, it's not like what Chelsea have done with Mudryk, is it? It's not like what Liverpool have done with Gakpo. They might not work, but bloody hell, they spent a lot of money on talent. Casey said Lindelof at centre back. Okay. So second half should be starting very, very soon. 45 minutes. I mean, look, one thing I will concede, it's interesting. It's far more interesting than second halves against Forest when you're 3-0 up from the first leg. So it's interesting. Let's see what we can do. I think that it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see what Ten Hag has said at half-time. And as I say, I don't think he'll make any changes yet, but I certainly think he'll be giving him a bit of a bollocking. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. We're getting very close to 578,000. We're currently 100 away. We're 100 subscribers away from 578,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved in the chat. We're live every morning at 10 o'clock. We were talking about the Qatar bid this morning. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. And lots of shows in between. So get involved. It's only 1-0. Why does everyone start hating? Says Red to Dead. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. We're having a really good season. There are big challenges. We had a really weak transfer window when he should have been backed better. We're playing a lot of games. Fatigue will come into it. We've got injuries, but I think there's almost a legacy from the last 10 years where fans are so used to moaning that they still moan, even though there's probably not a reason to do it. Stay healthy, says Korean. Thank you very much. And got to do a Ten Hag sub. Should have put a pass to Voot, Sancho in and Rashford to the left. I'd bring Sancho on Dale because I think we need to get further up the pitch. John Jordan, welcome to the Members Club. But I don't know whether Sancho is able to play 45 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if we do get a change like that at half-time. I don't know. Players are coming out now. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka's been missed, but he's ill. Anthony's been missed, but he's injured. Martial's missed, but he's injured. Casemiro's missed, and he's suspended. So we're not just missing one player. We're having to play players in areas that we don't really have any cover. Alan Noonan says definitely 100. I reckon we're going to win this second half. I'm going to stay positive. Dr. Saul says the immaturity and impatience of some of our fans is embarrassing. That's what it is. It is impatience. The game's not even over. It's like moaning about the team news before the ball's been kicked. Kane thoughts, you mentioned the dropping deep. Do you think it's that much of an issue considering our strikers tend to drop deep anyway, says McCandy? Look, one thing I would say, I'd love to have Harry Kane on that pitch now. You know, it's not even a case of beggars can't be choosers. Harry Kane would be a bloody godsend in this team right now. I just think there's better options. But squad depth is so important, says Martin, and he's right. Second half's about to kick off. Leeds will kick it off. We're attacking the Stretford end. It's got to be all or nothing for Man United now. I'd hate to be going into the second half. I'd hate to be going into Ellen Road on Sunday having lost at Old Trafford tonight. Tashil says, just half-time and all fake fans are being seen. No changes at half-time for Manchester United, of course. I would have told you if that had happened. Right, let me just get this timer up and running. Obviously, that timer is wrong at the moment. Let me just... how do I do this? There we go. There we go. Well, it's Leeds starting off well again. I mean, I don't know what Man United are doing, but we started off sluggish again. Felix would have been a brilliant deal. He would provide service and would be a Bruno backup. Such a shame that he went to Chelsea, says Mr. Tony. Look, all I can say is, come to Wigan, Marky, says Danny Fletcher. All I can say is that Eric Ten Hag wanted Gakpo or João Felix. He got Weghorst. And you wonder why we might have problems. And I'm not slagging Weghorst off. I hope he does really well, but that's what he wanted. That's what they gave him. Garnacho's gone to the right and Rashford's gone to the left. Intelligent. Why not? Why not give it a go? We could do with Ali now, couldn't we? He always used to smash Leeds. He wasn't very good at anything else, but... He always did quite well. It's 2-0. Fucking hell. It's like a bad nightmare. It's like a fucking nightmare. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's like, you can't excuse that. Like... It's just sluggish again. How do you start the same half like that twice? People are saying there might be a clear handball in this. Hopefully VAR will take a look at it. But just don't get it. I don't get what happens here at all. Well, it's an own goal off Varane as well. I don't think we're getting a handball for that. I don't know what people are talking about, but I really don't think we're going to get a handball for that. It's a jammy goal. There's a lot of people saying it's a handball. I personally don't. I'm not gonna moan about that. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Pele, do you want to get blocked? I mean, you remember, and you put in stuff like that. I'll give you a warning because you remember, but do you want to get blocked? I get Garnacho is youth, but please take him off. He's just struggling. Sancho needs to be playing games. We started both halves to sleep. Very, 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 very disappointing. Well deserved. Garnacho giving it away again. Zayn Miasi's laughing his head off. Jeff, I think it's going to be tough now. People saying wake up. I mean, I don't know what you do. There's sod all on the bench, really. There's sod all on the bench. Oh, it's just fucking annoying. I'm not gonna give out excuses, but Casemiro not being in this game. But then you're so reliant on one player. I mean, all right, he got sent off unjustly, but what if he slipped over and turned his ankle? He'd missed the game, wouldn't he? Barca will tear us a new one. But then again, we'll have Casemiro. You know what? It's just disappointing because we've been so good, and then tonight we've just looked. It's just disappointing. That's the word. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I think anybody can beat anybody in this league on their day, and Leeds obviously are very motivated and energetic, but it is Old Trafford and it is Leeds. We should be keeping our cool. Oh, I need to change the score. It doesn't do it automatically, does it? Sorry. Well, you know, but this always happens. The minute people start talking about titles, it goes wrong. People were talking about titles before the Palace game, and we drew with Palace and we lost to Arsenal. People start talking about titles after the Palace game this time, and we're losing to bloody Leeds. As soon as there's any title talk, why would Weghorst chase that? You're fucking 10 yards off, mate. Just leave it. Leave it. How thick do you have to be? You're bloody miles off. Leave it. Ignore the ball. Glazers out. They did not support Ten Hag. So Sebastian. Hey, Mark, people are calling out Garnacho, but in my opinion, he's been our best player. We need Rashford to step it up. Hasn't been his day. Yeah, you know, Rashford's been very quiet today, Max, actually. Chris Armas Revenge, said someone there. This is what we knew would happen with the lack of depth. Squad is tired. Worry now that a collapse is coming, says Caleb. We need to get, you know what? We need to get back into the mentality now of top four. This is a good result for Spurs and Newcastle now. You know, forget talk of titles. We need to screw our head back on, because my concern has always been the lack of depth in the squad. Dial, you're blocked. Thanks, mate. Just acknowledging, you twat. Titles forget it. Can't even see top four, says Jims. And off topic, but your mate Ben Foster to Spurs is back up. That's the rumour. Can you have a word, says Baz. I didn't realise that Lloris was out for a few weeks. Another bad decision. It's a handball, says Alan Noonan. A lot of you do think it's a handball. To be honest with you, if that was the other way around, I'd be moaning my head off if they disallowed it. No need to worry. Man City will drop unless they win, says Tex Rate. Game's not over now, says Derek. It's not over now, but I can't see where we're going to get 3 goals from. We need to win. We can still get a point out of this, but second half it's been worse than anything we did in the first half. But you got to go for it. Got to go for it. Avery says our squad has been exposed here. mean, Rashford just shoots. Rashford shooting from 30 yards has got to stop. Martin, MKH, thanks for joining the members club. 2-0 is always a dangerous score. You get one, the crowd's up. It's going to be a long day today, says GJ. Get a beer. Michael Creaney says half those subs shouldn't be in the squad. Get Alanga on, says Royal. Bloody hell, are we that bad? I mean, Alanga's not done anything all season, has he? Kyle says we're going to win 3-2. At half time, I fancied us to win, but with second half, we've been shit. Well, both Leeds midfielders are on a yellow card now, Adams and McKennie. Henry Pye, you're a prat, apparently. Nutty says Varane's always got a mistake in him. Yeah, mate. It's a catalogue of errors, isn't it, from Varane this year? Bloody hell. I mean, I think you're stretching, mate. Kevin says, a couple of weeks ago I made a harsh comment that upset people about Weghorst. I'll repeat it. He's a shocking footballer. He gets in the way more than he does any good. I'm sorry, just stating. I just think he's an average footballer, mate. I think he's honest, he's hard-working, but he's average. And if you're going to bring a player like Weghorst into the team, you've got to play to his strengths. I just don't get it. I do not get what we're doing. I mean, people will moan about Weghorst. I would come back with how many games have we actually provided with any service? I mean, Sancho's going to come on now, and Palestri's. I mean, Palestri might be Palestri's an interesting one. I'd completely forgotten about him. You know, you talk about a player that might make a difference. I mean, it's an opportunity. This is where opportunities can be grabbed. I'd forgotten about Sancho, and he comes on with very little, pressure. Just go out there and see what you can do. And Palestri's a player that will run at people. So let's see what he can do. Garnacho's got a chance here, but he's just not had a good night, Garnacho. Mark, would you take a draw now? I want to win, Paul, but I think you've got to take a draw now. Nothing changes really. Our rivals drop points. We have a chance to better them and we blow it, says Darren. Stop defending this crap, Mark. Yes, it's a weakened team, but they are United players and losing to Leeds, says Stig. I've seen United since Brentford. Worst I've seen United since Brentford. I don't understand your point, Stig. I think we're losing because of reasons that are out of control of the manager and the players. I think we're losing because we've got no options. I think we're losing because we're tired. I think we're losing because we had a shit transfer window. I don't think we're losing for any other reason. Like Fred says, there's lots of negativity, great fans. I'm not angry with the team. Weghorst is going off. I mean, that's a waste of an hour. That is a waste of an hour. I don't know who you blame for that, but that Weghorst hour was a waste. Absolutely zero service. I don't get that at all. So Sancho comes on for Weghorst. Palestri comes on for Garnacho. I think they're both correct subs, really. Let's hope that Sancho and Palestri can offer us something. But we've missed Casemiro massively, haven't we? Slow sports news. We've missed Casemiro, and we knew we would. Is McTominay back on Sunday? Is it that bad? Are we that desperate? Jordan's just messaged me saying Kevin Davies is better than Weghorst. Well, he is. I mean, Delo's just got the ball and whipped a cross in. Weghorst went off and we've whipped a cross in. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Weghorst goes off and we whip a cross in. Hi, mate. Can't find the game anyway. How's the Sabitzer looking, says Tom. It's been a challenging night for Sabitzer. I think he's done okay, but, you know, he's playing out of position, let's be honest. We need to fire 10. Oh, after this, says Robert. I think he's joking. Rashford doesn't look arsed at all tonight, says Jack. He's having one of that. WS Football's crying. I think Sabitzer reminds me of Eriksen. I said that when we bought him. You know, it's almost like as good a replacement as you can get for Eriksen. There are a lot of similarities in the way they play, but they are not CDMs. Would you play Eriksen as a CDM? Look at what happened when we played Brentford. We played Eriksen as the deeper midfielder against Brentford and we got smashed. It doesn't mean Sabitzer's a bad player and it doesn't mean Eriksen's a bad player. I just think we're using players in positions that they're not used to, really. Weghorst is the Dutch Ashley Barnes from Wish, says Kyle. Sleep Tight says we had a chance to go toe-to-toe with City. What changes would you make now, Mark? Or what tactical changes would you make? Do you rate Sabitzer, says Paul? I don't think... Answers in the chat. What can you do? Oh, let's bring Harry Maguire on up front. I think one of the only changes I would have considered that we've not done and we probably won't do is I'd go back to the way that we play against with Casemiro and I'd play Lindelof at CDM. I'd try that. That's the only thing I can think because Mainu, Alanga, what's that going to do? Maguire, Malacia, what's that going to do? Get in! 2-1! Marcus Rashford! And it's a goal for Manchester United. Have that! Put that on your paper. Put it on your bread. Put it on your email. It's 2-1 to Manchester United. And it's Marcus Rashford with the goal. And it comes from a cross. And funnily enough, Delo started putting crosses into the box. And Weghorst has gone off. But it's Marcus Rashford with the goal. It's a lovely ball by Sabitzer that gets Palestri in. He lays it off to Delo, who whips in a lovely cross. And that's something Delo can do. He can put in a good cross. And I tell you what, it's a bloody good header. Very good header by Marcus Rashford. But well played by Palestri and Sabitzer. Lovely cross by Delo. Fantastic header by Rashford. And we're back in it. That's not something that Rashford could ever do. Brilliant header by Rashford. 2-1. And now the chances. Now the chances. Let's go, says Mystic Brad. I want to win. I'll take a draw in these circumstances, but I want to win. Half an hour. I tell you, you can't. You don't know Man United if you don't know the power of attacking the Stretford end at Old Trafford in the second half. You do not know the power of the Stretford end. Like Connor says, 2-0's always been a dangerous scoreline. And I tell you what, I'm so pleased for Palestri. I think there's a select few United fans that have always really liked Palestri, of which I've obviously been one. And I've got to get hold of this game though. Leeds are coming again here. We can't be. I've got to change the score. Oh, that's not 2 for that. That's 1. He's not giving a free kick for this, has he? If I'm Weghorst, I'm crying on the sideline, says Alec Miller. Oh, he's giving a fucking free kick. I don't think that was a free kick. It's a bloody good position as well. Just remind me if a goal goes in, because I haven't got it. It normally updates naturally, and I'm not. It's not working up. It's not working tonight for some reason. So Porridge is out. Fred's not had a great game, has he? Mark, did you notice as soon as they took Weghorst out and put Rashford through the middle, they started to cross the ball? They might not trust Weghorst to score. It's weird, Jim. It's weird. It's weird how you've got a player that's good in the box, you put no crosses in, and as soon as he goes off, we start putting crosses in. Grab your beer, Mark, says John Jordan. That free kick hit the bottom of the post. Couldn't be more United to start putting crosses in, says Cheza. Fred's getting a bit of stick in the chat. Suddenly it's all Leeds again. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. We're nearly at 578,000, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We need another DM, Jared, but we need someone who's willing to be an understudy to Casemiro. Exo says Delo is playing so bad compared to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, just got the assist to make it 2-1. He's playing shit, mate. Yeah, dreadful game from Delo. Just got us a goal. Sancho's just gone down injured here, and referee is saying play on. Fucking rubbish! You've just given a free kick to Leeds for a tamer tackle than that. Mark, weirdly, the same thing used to happen when we used to sub Ronaldo off. We'd start putting loads of crosses in, says Iram. I think there's a few players tonight that have been a bit off. Luke Shaw, yes. Fred, obviously. I mean, Rashford had a quiet night, but then I don't really care about Rashford having a quiet night, because Rashford can have a quiet 90 minutes and score a winner in the 92nd minute. That's what his job is. Lovely play by Delo down the wing. Shambles of a cross. Do you remember Rashford handball a few weeks ago? Don't understand how Leeds allowed the second one to Sarvish. I don't understand the handball rule. Thoughts on bringing Edson from Ajax as a DM, says Eduardo. He might be a good player to come in and do the understudy job. And remember, Chelsea were looking at him. Don't you think James Garner would have been the perfect understudy for Casemiro, says Sakin? Maybe. But we sold him. Can we win this game, Mark? Be tough. It will be tough now. 20 minutes to go. 2-1 down. You've got to play the game in 10-minute segments, really. Try and get a goal in the next 10 minutes. And then try and, lay siege in the last 10 minutes, I suppose. That's what you do. I think the problem is... Oh, good interception by Leeds at the back. The problem is we're just... there's still a lot of players not playing that well. I try and get people like Sancho and Palestri on the ball as much as possible. Bruno! Bloody Bruno! Bloody hell, why is he toe poking that? Put your foot through it. It was a big chance, Anish. Brilliant chance. Someone says penalty VAR. Didn't see that. Rashford's just gone down in the box. Referee's not having it. He ain't going to change his mind. No, I ain't going to give a penalty for that. I'm not going to give a penalty for that. He shoves him in the back, but they won't review it. I think we've got a goal here. Lots of people are saying Sancho in the chat. My fucking internet's just gone down. Why the fuck has that happened? I don't want to react when I'm getting no. Right, I know what to do. Jadon Sancho is back. 2-2 to Manchester United. It is 2-2 to Manchester United. Jadon Sancho, for God's sake, that's so bloody annoying. Oh, get in. I've missed the bloody equaliser. What a twat. 2-2, Manchester United. Get in. I can't fake it now. I didn't even know what happened. I'm sorry about that. I use... because my laptop's so shit... I just use my laptop for the stream and then everything else is on my other thing and it just, everything went down. Like, ear and everything else. So I didn't get to see it. But it's 2-2 to Manchester United and we've got 20 minutes to go. Come on then, 20 minutes to go. Manchester United 2-2. What did I say at half time? I said we can win this. Yeah, Slow Sports News, Anthony, you're absolutely right. I don't even know how the goal went in. It's only because I went onto Twitter and someone said 2-2 and then my screen came back and it's obviously I can hear and see everything now. So 2-2 Manchester United, but I did say at half time we will win this game. You do not understand the power of the Stretford End and Manchester United. Where are all the haters now? How we've got back into this game is testament to Erik ten Hag and these players. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Sancho's back. I think so many of us have been wanting that moment. Check your phone again, Mark, says Heng. Look, we've got 20 minutes to win this game. And this would be bigger than Palace, which actually was massive in itself because you played with 10 men for 20 minutes. But 2-0 down, not playing very well against Leeds, and you get back to 2-2 in no time with the subs. We've got to push for it now. We've got to push for it. How's Sabitzer doing? Look, I think Sabitzer has done a very, very good job in a very, very difficult circumstance. You're playing against the Leeds midfield that knows how to play midfield and knows how to play together, and you're playing next to Fred with no CDM trying to, run that midfield when you've never played together and it's not really your best position. If we can find a win from this, it would be remarkable. But I think Sabitzer's done well. Some good link-up play. We're winning corners now. Stretford is rocking. Shaw's been better second half, says Aiden. Davin says I'm loving the feet. I'm loving it. There's a Leeds player gone down here, which is great because it means we can clear up the chat from get rid of the Prats. Good. The score is right. Big shout out to Susan and the mods, legends in the chat. It will clear up in a minute. Don't worry. Martinez, man of the match, says Nimesh. She's done very well, to be fair. $15 to go. Sabitzer in the second half has been class so far. He's linking the defence to the attack very well. Palestri inner loading, says Lecky. Oh, God. Ten Hag's half-time talk to the team does wonders, says Dante. He's done it again. You know, I think absolutely spot on. Ten Hag, I've run out of superlatives for this manager. You know, you do a half-time team talk at 1-0. Firpo's going to get booked. You do a half-time team talk at journalists have to ask Ten Hag in the post-match why the team never puts the ball into the box when Weghorst is playing, says DC. You do a half-time team talk when you're 1-0 down. You concede straight away. You make a double sub and you're back to 2-2. That's not a red card on Marcus Rashford there because he's not clean through. It's not a red. Come on, you can't shout for a red card when the defender's level and close to the goal. He's not through one-on-one. It's not a red. I'm a United fan. He's not the last man, Savage. You need to go to Specsavers. There's another Leeds player who's level with the play and he's more central. He's not through one-on-one. I'm sorry, it's never a red. I'd like it to have been a red, but it's not a red. It's a yellow card. Oh, Varane with the header from Bruno. So close to making it 3-2. We've got to keep pushing. 10 minutes to go. It'd be a bloody injustice if we don't win this now. MJ Power says, this is how we've come under Ten Hag. If this was last season, we could have believed, but how do we? Come on, United. Bruno steps it up with the cross. Varane with the header. So close for Manchester United. Still about 15 minutes to go. Meslier has had a good game for them, to be fair. Nicky, thanks for the super chat. Bloody hell, Nicky. I don't know whether you meant to do that. Thank you very much if you did, but I'm worried for you if you didn't. Legend of the chat, but I think you might have got that wrong. 3-2 Atalanta flashback, says Javier. This time. Meslier is a really good goalkeeper, by the way, says Fred. He is a good goalkeeper. I think I've heard a lot of you in the past say that you wouldn't mind him being the United, coming to United. Player ratings are out, by the way. Bloody forgot about that. Let me get you the link. You can do your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Star for your man of the match. A lot of people saying Martinez again has been brilliant. Don't disagree. But maybe there's a script still to be written here. Links in the video description, or you can go to theunitedstand.com. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Manchester United pushing here for a win that would be... I didn't think that Crystal Palace game at the weekend could be topped for intensity. And you know what? I've got to say, whatever happens in this game, and hopefully Leeds don't find a winner, but whatever happens in this game, I've got to say that it's a pleasure watching Manchester United at the moment because, you know, maybe we had that run of games where it was a little bit run-of-the-mill. You know, you're beating the likes of Reading and everyone. But, you know, the Crystal Palace game was so tense that last 20 minutes. And we're being treated here with a game that's been up and down like a bouncy castle. And You know, that's what we want as Manchester United fans. We want to be entertained. We want to win, though. And that's what the opportunity is to go and do now. Can we go and win this game in the last few minutes? I hope so. I really do. I really, really do. But Malacia's going to come on for Manchester United. Interesting to see what he's going to do there. Certainly not a game to be bringing on a Harry Maguire unless you want to whip crosses into the box. Put Harry Maguire up front, maybe. I wouldn't rule out Leeds getting something themselves, though. YK, cheerio and fuck off. Some horrible people in the chat. In fact, I might just put members only chat on in a minute because it's the Wild West tonight. Probably the worst chat we've had in a long time. I've rode it out and it's been okay, but it's a terrible chat tonight. And I feel sorry for the regulars. Bruno shoots over the bar. Jack says we could put Maguire up front. How's he not realised somebody donated £450? Dylan, how are you so fucking thick? I spoke about it as soon as it happened. I said thank you, and I said I don't know whether you've done that by mistake because people have done it in the past. They meant to do 449 and they do 449, so it may well be not done on purpose. But I did acknowledge, and I actually said that. So, Jamie Stables, welcome to the Members Club. It's a tense finish now. Thanks, Rob. Ashley Jeans, thanks for welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. It's funny. It's a bit, you know what? This is a bit. You know, I don't know whether anyone ever plays FIFA, but this reminds me a little bit of FIFA now. You know, in a game of FIFA, sometimes you're losing 2-0, and you battle your way back into it. You've got to have played FIFA on PS5 or Xbox. You're losing 2-0 on FIFA, right? You battle your way to 2-1. You get loads and loads of chances. You make it 2-2. You look at the clock, and there's 10 minutes late, and you go, right, I'm going to lay siege to their goal now for the last 10 minutes and win it. And then suddenly the opposition won't let you have the ball, and they start having all the chances. And it's gone a bit like this now. It doesn't, in any normal game, welcome to the Members Club, Jasper, in any normal game that wouldn't happen, but for some reason it's happening. Arshik says, pray for Syria and Turkey, and let's go, mate. That's just Thomas Pritchard, welcome to the Members Club. But going back to what Arshik says there, I was listening to the radio because I was driving to Manchester and back yesterday, and the numbers of the dead just going up and up and up. The numbers you're talking about there, it's well over 10,000 now. It's just absolutely horrible what has happened. And, you know, thoughts, and I've been speaking to a few people today about things that we could do to help out, because that's not going to be a short-term thing. That's going to be something that's going to go on for a long, long time. You know, there's going to be a lot more dead. The infrastructure, you know, it's their winter. There's so much that needs to be done in relation to that. So you're absolutely right to bring it to the attention, because there's bigger things in life, isn't there? But yeah, thank you very much for that. And yeah, rest assured, we've been, you know, already speaking to people and organisations about things that, you know, we can do as a small community, but the world needs to do stuff about that. That's a natural disaster that could hit Anybody, any country. So yeah, they need the help and they need the support in the immediate future, because there's still chance of saving lives there. I mean, just it's horrible to think about, but you've got to acknowledge it and you've got to do something about it. JP says we need Declan Rice. We just can't rely on Casemiro, so we should get a CM, says JP. Welcome to Members Club, Joshua Crossley. And we need Declan Rice, says JP. How the hell is Fred going to survive for the full 90, says Nate? Because there's nobody else. There's nobody else. And can Manchester United find a winner here? Or will Leeds find a winner here? Maybe not. Maybe time is going to run out. Freddie's losing the ball so much. Some players on the pitch look dissatisfied with the draw, unfortunately, and lost their focus, says Waleed. Darren, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Sancho, so elegant. Got about 5 minutes left of normal time. Welcome, James Wood. The mods have done a great job tonight. Pink says, thanks for the show, despite the chat's toxic. It's the worst live chat we've ever had. I don't know whether it's because it's Leeds. Let's see what happens on Sunday. But it's the worst live chat we've had in a long time. I don't know what it is. Edward, welcome to the Members Club. Sam Fitzsimmons, you're a prat, says Joey. Meant to do 50p, says Nigel Brennan. Seriously, Maguire CDM, says Jamie Bourne. Oh, cross came in there and it's just like, it's ended up in Meslier's arms. I thought Rashford was going to tap it in. Times like this, we read Ronaldo, says Sonic. Hi, Mark. I think for next season, Man United should sign Camavinga on loan to bring strength to the midfield. Yeah, Camavinga's got to want to come. Half a chance for Rashi. You know, wouldn't be surprised if he turned it in. Ashley Smith says, who's been in defence? Delo, because Wan-Bissaka is ill. Martinez, Varane and Shaw. Thanks, Will Fox. I think for next season, yeah, I've done that one from Valor as well. Time is running out. I mean, look, we would have took a point. We would have took a point when we were 2-0 down, but we have had about 15 minutes to try and win this. I mean, Leeds are trying to win it as well. It's a very interesting game. They've played their part, Leeds. You can't deny that. It could still go either way. Last 10 minutes has flown by, says John. Need a stretch, Mark, says Exotic Funds. I need my internet to go down because that's what happened with the equaliser. Look at my phone, anything. Oh, Fred on a fucking shot. You know where that's going to happen. What happens with that? I didn't realise that Sabitzer came off for Lindelof as well. That happened 5 minutes ago. Remember, you can do your player ratings. Links in the video description. Mark, every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Love the content, Mark, says Jeremy. I think Leeds are settling in for the draw here. It'd be a good point for them as well. Leeds fans in the chat were desperate for Bruno option and Case option. Shaw and Martinez has been very good. Sabitzer is much more box to box than CDM, says SK. Can you remember that? Remember that clip of when we played Leeds? I think the first time they got promoted. That fan. I used to take the piss out of it all the time. Fuck off. What was it? I can't remember what he said. I just remember it was like, fuck off. Fuck off. I can't even remember it now. It was something like that. DJ says it's Fred's performance. I mean, the thing I've not got a lot negative to say about Fred, because I think when you've got alternatives, it's infuriating. But we have no alternative. I mean, yeah, Fred's not had a very good game. A couple of other players haven't had good games. But what's the alternative? Like, what are you going to do other than Fred? Fred is Fred. You know, he can have a bloody brilliant game and then he'll have a really crap game. He's inconsistent. I think he's going to add 5 minutes on here. Peter, you made me laugh. He says, Fred's only useful when the other team's crap. Hate to say it, but should have taken Fred off and moved Sabitzer, says Alec Miller. Banzai, thanks very much. There's still time here. There's still time for Manchester United to win the game, but never say never with United, especially under Ten Hag, but you do feel that it's probably the momentum. Leeds have actually stabilised since we made it 2-2. Fred with a shot from the edge of the box. To be honest with you, I'd be absolutely stunned if that went in. I know he can score, but it's not really him. Oh, come on, United. It would be so good to get a win. We would love it. I think that second goal for Leeds probably killed the chance of winning it, didn't it? You can come back from 2-0 down, but to get a draw, but 3 goals is probably a little bit too much. But look, you never know. Bruno's got it. Leaves it for Sancho. Oh, Bruno gets blocked and it's Fred again. I mean, bloody... It's almost like they're not marking Fred. They don't care about Fred. We've had a lot of chances and we've scored 2 goals. I do think that Ten Hag will say at the end of the game, you know, we've had chances to win that game. I do think he will say that. If Leeds have used 6 subs because they had a concussion sub, it's absolutely fine. Malacia came on for Delo, didn't he? Why is it Fred every time? Because they probably leave Fred. You know, that's why he's getting the space to shoot, because the opposition probably go, leave him. You know, he's not that it's not important. Eric Ten Hag has made us feel like a club again. Last season, the team felt so distant, loving watching United against us, Sharpie. Yeah, I agree. And it's a shame we haven't won. It's a gutting feeling not to win, but I actually, I'll say it in the match reaction, I think it's very obvious why we didn't win the game tonight. And you can't, in some ways, it's out of our control. Cammy, I wonder what's Bruno's injury record like. The work rate is insane, says Cammy. 23 attempts for Man United, says Adam. You can't change the score when it's over. I'm disappointed. But I'm not angry with anybody really. I'm just disappointed with a draw. Contextually, in relation to the league table, it puts us up to 43 points, but we've played a game more than Newcastle. So if they were to win their game, they'd go level with us again. 4 points ahead of Spurs with the same games played. I suppose we're looking behind us a little bit, aren't we, instead of ahead? Which is a shame, but it is what it is. We've done well to get back to 2-2. You just want that. You just want that winner, don't you? And Meslier does well. Spencer played great. Fred did Fred. Rashford's form came at the perfect time in the season, and maybe Sancho's back. I'll take the points, says Dimitri. Thank you. I think the referee's about to blow the whistle here. Thanks everyone who's been watching, by the way. We'll go straight into the match reaction. So please do your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Manchester United end up drawing a game that they could easily have lost. Let's be honest, they could easily have lost this game. It's disappointing not to win, of course it is, but we could easily have lost that. Probably could have won it as well, but we didn't. We drew it. It's disappointing. I think there's a very big reason for it, but it is what it is. Don't forget, if you want to get tickets to our live tour, I've left the link in the live chat. Ben Foster's going to be in Manchester. We're in London as well. Get the tickets while you can. They're in the live chat. Love to see you live. I'm going to go over to the match reaction now. We'll do your player ratings there, and we'll discuss why we haven't won tonight. And I think everyone knows why, but we'll talk about it on the match reaction. I'll see you in a minute.